joined will never tire. Brothers all our way. Streets they run with blood and fire, the price of liberty. My revolution carries me in a moment lost in time. My revolution sets me free. I will flow across the lines. Bring up the brother in me. I'm searching for unity. Everything is changing inside of me. The city's under my feet, the ruins of the elite. Everything is changing inside of me. Secret truths are buried deep. Two fathers on two sides. With every lunge and every leap, closer to my kind. My revolution carries me in a moment lost in time. My revolution sets me free. I will go across the lines. Bring up the brother in me. I'm searching for unity. Everything is changing inside of me. The city's under my feet, the ruin of the elite. Everything is changing inside of me. Révolution dans les roues. Je vois le chaos en dessus. La justice est une rivière rouge. Je te cherche, où es-tu? My revolution carries me. My revolution sets me free. My revolution carries me in a moment lost in time. My revolution sets me free. I will go across the lines. Bring up the brother in me. I'm searching for unity. Everything is changing inside of me. The city's under my feet, the ruin of the elite. Everything is changing inside of me. My revolution carries me. It's gonna carry me, carry me. My revolution sets me free. Yeah. It's gonna carry me, carry me, carry me. Révolution dans les rues, je vois le chaos en dessus. La justice est une rivière rouge. Je te cherche, où es-tu?
Forcing of the hand, a whisper in the ear, spirit of enabling.
Yo, it is Wednesday night, and we are here for the second night of the second week of the HyperX Scrim Season 1, presented to you by Outcast Media, right here on the Outcast Media Twitch channel. My name's Nick. I'll be running your play-by-play. On board with me tonight, I have the one, the only Miss Fire Pickford. Pickford, what's going on, my guy?
Good evening, Nick. I hope you've had a wonderful week so far. I hope everybody, if their kids have gone back to school, you've gone back to school, anybody in your family's gone back to school, everyone is safe and healthy. But tonight, these guys are going to be anything but safe and healthy. We've got 24 teams in here ready to frag out to get these points for the season scrim.
All right, let me get a recap on where we're at as far as current standings and all that goes.
Well, currently, I'm going to give you some stats, but as you know, they're unofficial until they come out officially on Monday.
Unofficial to their official. Got it.
Unofficial to their official, but right now we are almost tied at the top of the list. Hacks with 91 points currently in the power rankings, and right behind them, with 90 points, 1 point behind, is Outcast Alpha, and then surprisingly, in third place with 69 points, 21 behind second, 22 behind first place, is 187 Black with 69 points.
All right, so a few shocking things here to point out. Number one, I think 187 Black planned that for sure. They have, say it again.
They have 69 points.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
definitely plan that. Maybe the bigger story is the spread between first place and second place right now is 1 point.
Exactly, so very close. But also, if you look at going down from 7th to 12th, we have, in 7th place we have Men of 4, and in 11th we have the Forgotten. Those teams are only separated by 5 points. If one of those teams in 7th place, Men of 4, 8th place, True Savages, 9th Top Strikers, 10th Misfire. If any of those teams can frag out, win a scrim, get 30 points, they can bound themselves way up and get themselves automatically in 4th place if they have a really good event. So even though they are in 7th through 12th, but one good scrim right now can really put them in the top 4, top 5.
So after only 4 events, 4 nights of matches, there's a decent spread within the top 10 teams point wise, but within the top 10 to 12 teams or whatever, it seems like there's pockets where it's really tight. Obviously first and second is really tight. I'm looking at like 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all relatively close, and then we have all these teams right in that like mid-20s to mid-30s range, like within 10 points. Seems like there's half a dozen teams or more all in that mix, so everyone's still in it. That's kind of the beauty of the way this scoring season is. Everyone has a good opportunity to be able to come in here any night that they can, any of the 3 nights a week or all of the nights in a week, accumulate some points, and climb their way up the ladder. So while we're waiting for the plane to take off here, you want to talk about anything with the individual stats?
Well, two things we have is, like you said, we have teams coming in and coming out. Team for the first time showing up tonight, top or Spray and Pray, showing up for the first time in match 4. Obviously, that's a team that's known, that has a reputation. They could really throw a wrench in this mechanics in this 4th event. It's the only one they've played so far, but a team like that can come in here. And also, the team currently in 5th place, Broham Elite, had a huge shakeup. They've renamed themselves Dream Killers, and they pretty much cut ties with everybody on Broham except for the elite players. So this is obviously Dead's plan. As you remember, a few weeks ago, Dead and Drop had a huge breakup, and now just a couple weeks after that, Broham Elite has cut ties completely with Broham Alpha and renamed themselves Dream Killers.
Interesting. Always something going on in the wide world of PUBG Mobile, it seems like, and that is just the latest, I guess, and in our corner of the map anyway. Speaking of the map, let's take a look at this plane path. We're going across the southerly portion of the main island here. I see a couple teams going towards Novo. We got Top Strikers and that is Dream Killers. Just the team you were talking about. So not only are they you know, causing some action, you know, out of matches, it looks like they're going to be getting in some action right away in this match as well.
And if you know Spray Pray, they love to go military. That's just what they're doing. They're going to military. That's not a map, but that's not part of the map that we're kind of get a lot of action at. But that is where they're going, and that's where they're going to try to take over.
Yeah, well, they're going to have looks like an easy time there. Nobody else around, but Novo is a little bit of a different story. Let's hop on over. If I can tap Marsh real quick. He's got a VSS and a Scar right off the bat.
This is a big battle right off the bat. Top Strikers currently in 11th place. Going up to these Dream Killers, formerly Brohim Elite, currently in 5th place. So whoever comes out of here is really, it's really the losers of this is really going to be in a little bit of a hurt locker after this match if both these teams can't get out of here alive.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, Fish, thanks for the 100 bits. You'll hear that once the delay catches up. We had a follow earlier too. I'm not sure who that was. I heard it, but I didn't have a chance to see the name. So whoever that was dropping that new follow a little bit ago, thank you for that.
And Two Fish, that's a guy currently he's going to be making an announcement at Misfire pretty soon, but currently the tryout process for Misfire, but he's on a little vacation in Denver. He sent me a picture of him up on a dock drinking some drinks, watching the stream.
Nice. So Marshaw was able to get a knock there with the VSS. And is quickly moving, which is kind of the smart play there. Once you take shots off of that tower, even though you have a VSS, pretty good chance that they're going to know where you're at. And
what I like is both of these teams are staying tight to each other. You know, Top Strikers. So in case they get rushed, they can peek some corners. They don't want to get so close that one grenade can take them out, but they want to be close enough that they can prevent a thirst and go knock for knock if they have to. Although Legend needs to heal up.
Yeah, I think that's maybe he was just knocked and just got picked up. Was it? Let's see. Yeah. I wonder if he's got heals at all. He's got no heals and no boosts, so he's still looking. Let's just take a spin around the map.
Now it looks like Top Strikers is pushing over towards Unknown and Judy of Dream Killers. So they're about to get into it right here.
We got a flare coming down near school. There's 2 teams in Watertown. Dang. Stuff going on all over. I see a nade. One of the Top Strikers players, Legend, looks like is down. Wow. Ghost is low. Zeus is knocked. Legend is knocked.
And a little heads up, this Top Strikers team currently wiped out in 24th place. That is going to be the team that we're going to be talking to tonight through all matches. They're currently, like I said, in 9th place. So, as I said, we have these interviews on Wednesdays for the good and the bad. So we're going to be able to talk to them. The team currently in 9th place, how are they going to rebound after getting knocked out first to really rebound for the rest of these matches?
Sounds like a good conversation we're going to have here between the matches. Hopefully they show up for that and not,
yes, hopefully.
you know, yeah. You're like, bruh.
So far, only one team has stood us up because of a bad finish. Hopefully that won't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Misfire and Ghost Really Elite duking it out up on the top of what's it?
Oh, Misfire's over at Quarry. What do you know?
Yeah, that's like kind of their new drop spot after these changes. With the new warehouse and everything, you see it's a lot more advantageous. So Artemis and Fatboy are kind of Artemis knows somebody's over there. Throw a grenade, but now he's going to try to push back and stay close to Fatboy while Ghost is coming up to back up Savage. But it's really going to be is who else from these teams can get there as quickly as possible. With Ace and Zozu kind of backed off of. Misfire's going to try to push back. They know they don't have the numbers, and they're going to push out of that area. not take this fight. And since they put some damage on Savage, it kind of gives them a little bit of a shield to get out of there. And same thing, GME's also the same thing. They get in their vehicle, taking off, kind of like we saw each other, we respect each other. Let's not deal with each other right at this moment. We'll deal with each other later when we're not going to get knocked out in 23rd spot.
Yeah, speaking of teams getting knocked out early, 187 Black is in a fight. Zebra has already been eliminated. Bad Company. They got, let's see, it looks like they traded an elimination. They got 2 more in this house that are both low. Turn around, Mystic. Got him. 187 Black taking care of Bad Company.
Where is this jokester guy? Is he on his own program?
Yeah, he's at prison, I think, right? Or he was at prison. Now he's really on his own.
I tell you what, I mean, kudos to 187 for only to be able to push that with 2 members lose one, but still able to finish off that Bad Company team. They're getting knocked out in 23rd spot. That just shows their ability. But I'll tell you what, 187 runs into a top tier team in here, and they can go a different way, try to push to a 4-person squad with only 2 people.
Definitely. Did you see where Drop landed at?
Drop is 1 second. They are team 12.
Oh, they're in South George.
Yes.
So here's the
already got
problem.
one person
So
knocked.
team 12 and team 21 are right next to each other, and they're almost the same color.
Yes.
I literally had to look
Drop.
at it for like 10 seconds to figure out what was going on there. So I got Moldy picked up at least. Like you said, they were all close enough to one another. Except, oh well, I guess, what, Moldy has to have a teammate close by. Oh yeah, he does. And there he's knocked again.
And Infamous is kind of just got some good angles in this little house. This house is wide open, and they're shooting up from 2 different directions. The other, I mean, they got a. I don't know if Greasy and Zeus can see where Infamous is out. They did because they knocked them both, so, or hit at least knocked Demon Seaman.
It's interesting because 2 teams, and they're both split 2-2. And they're like forming an X, like a perfect X, like with one another.
I mean, the worst, if I was dropped, if both these teams are getting hit by different places, if I'm dropping, I'm communicating. I'm going to try to say, let's deal with this guy to our left, this guy Hooba, or you don't know it's Hooba, but you know that they've killed 1 person over there, there's 1 person left. Let's really focus, we know that there's 2 guys behind us, let's focus on this 1 person, finish him, and then it's a 4v2, and then they really have, and they know exactly where they're at, so they'll be able to be more effective. When you have this split like this, you got to, I think, really deal with one of the problems at a time, and put all 4 of your guns on one of the problems, then turn and deal with the other problem, instead of trying to deal with both problems at once.
Yeah. That's a nice feature of being able to look at this map and see where everyone is and make that relatively easy call out. But when you're on the ground with bullets whizzing past you, you're kind of like, oh, there's a guy over here.
Usually, whenever I'm playing or whenever I'm in a squad match and I'm getting hit by two different areas, my ultimate goal is to see which one is the easiest one to deal with and try to deal with that one first. Try to keep it simple. You know, try to deal with 2 different enemies. Try to deal with one enemy first and then the other. But it looks like Scorpion and Roadless are going to back out while the guys from Drop It just got their own boat and is taking off on their own. I think they're going to leave Moldy and whoever's in there with Ambush, I think, in there to get themselves out of there on their own.
They may have an okay time now as Uba has left to try to get ahead of the zone, it looks like.
in a pretty easy zone, and with the teams, looks like all the teams are going to be able to get into this second zone pretty easily. There's plenty of room to come in, especially from the West Coast, which is not as populated. Guys on the East Coast are already in the zone. So, although it looks like in that up by Mansion and stuff, there's going to be a little bit of a issue. If True Savages sees Clown, sees these guys from 187 kind of just rotating on their own, doing their own thing, it could cause a problem.
Be interesting when the Woo decides to head down that way for sure. Outcast
that was
Esports close by as well.
In fact, where did the Forgotten drop? The Forgotten dropped. Where are they? They dropped. Okay, by George, because remember the Forgotten was really dealing with dropping Yasnai with the Woo time after time, and the Woo was getting the best of them. It's really costing the Forgotten a lot of points. So it looks like they've decided to go over to Georgia Pool, but now those two guys who dropped, Greasy and Zeus, are in there. It looks like these guys will be dealing with a little bit of a blue battle.
Yeah, the Forgotten is set up camp and doesn't look like they're in too big of a hurry to leave. This was like the old Gangstar strat, I believe, right? Where you just drop North George and you would just stay there for the first 2 or 3 zones because there's enough heals and boosts that it didn't matter.
And one thing I want to see is Team 14, this Brohim Alpha team, this team that was kind of just discarded by Dead and the Brohim Elite team. They did show up tonight. They are playing, trying to get some points. They're in Watertown right now. Let's see how these guys react to kind of just finding out a few hours ago that they've all been kicked off their team. And they're still showing up as Brohim Alpha, keeping that name and trying to keep their season alive.
You definitely hope that they're able to kind of put the whatever politics or whatever you want to call it out of their mind for a little bit of time here and just play the game to the best of their abilities.
I mean, Emperor, I think, is the de facto leader of that team, and what I found out about him, I did reach out to him and say, I hope you guys stay in it. You guys are a good team, and don't let this one setback ruin your team and just give up on it. And looks like they took that to heart because he did show up. They were planning, I think, on not showing up tonight due to this, but I'm glad that they did show up to at least score some points, stay in it, and show that even though they can get some bad news, that they're going to stay together and work as a group. And infamous Huba gets
taken up by the zone
in the second zone. I mean, that's really. I mean, that you just can't let that happen. I mean, you got to be able to find some meds or something.
Yeah, he's got nothing. Yeah, he's got no boosts. Level 3 helmet. I mean, he's got a good helmet, but yeah.
It's tough when you get into those battles so early in the match. You get no time for looting, and now he's running. He's got no vehicle, just going from house to house trying to find anything, and it's now cost Infamous another player. They're down to, I think, just 2 now: Scorpion and Roadless.
Yeah, kind of hard to believe. That you can't find a vehicle or a first aid kit, but sometimes it goes that way. How do you stream screen on Twitch? Well, there's about 3 different ways to do that. The correct way is to run HDMI out of your phone into a HDMI adapter, into a capture card, into a PC. So it's not
flux capacitor.
It's not necessarily hard, but it's not the simplest either. You need a flux capacitor or a Mr. Fusion, one or the other.
That's right. 8.21 gigawatts is the amount of power needed. And now Drop just can't catch a break. Now they have. If you look in the blue, both members Kale and Blade are knocked in the blue. Boko and Bug are going to pick them up, while 2 other members of drop are also knocked in the blue, while the other two members of drop are outside the blue, trying to shoot at all three of them, while the red is hitting them.
Greasy's flat out.
And now, and also the red is and they could not get to Blade either, so Blade, I guess they have 3 of their members up still. I think that was smart play on them to forget. Go back, take that risk, at least get one of their members back up. You can still be aggressive with 3 players, especially a team like the Forgotten. You go down to 2 players, Nick, and then you're automatically in a defensive mode no matter how good you are.
Yeah, 100%. Zebra's in chat, and people are like, dude, why are you in chat? And he's like, I'm dead. Rip.
Rip. In case you don't know it yet, I'm dead. So again, this zone 2, plenty of room. I look at most of the teams were already on the west or on the east coast, so they don't have to move. So it makes it easier for teams to kind of sneak in from the west coast to find the spot. But you still have 22 teams. We're 17 minutes in, 22 teams. Remember, they've got to get to 15th place. Everybody, whether you're in 16th place or in 24th place, you get 1 point. So it's not until you get past that 16th place before you start getting more than 1 point.
The 3-wheel motorcycle that has no brakes.
Oh.
So here's the zone's going to your favorite location on all of Orango.
Oh, the Devil's Triangle.
Not Rozhawk.
Worst place.
But, you know.
Close. I mean, right there, that little mansion, prison, shelter thing is the worst place to drop in this game. Don't ever drop there. Take it from me. I'm a pro.
Pro. He's a pro.
Pro strats. Pro commentator.
You should be able to use the Streamlabs app on your Samsung. RX DJ. You don't need an iPhone, regardless of what some people might be telling you.
It's just getting more and more crowded. Still 22 teams. We're about to the 19-minute mark. I mean, it is getting packed. Look at all these teams. It looks like a hurricane with all these teams trying to rotate around the circle to try to get into the zone right now.
It is a little bit like a weather map with the rotations. They're not going straight. They're all going in circular paths.
Yeah, they've all watched their YouTube videos and seen, you know, you want to rotate around, try to get the short side, the blue side, the closest to the blue side of the zone. That's what they're trying to do. But it's going to be a case of who's going to get in there last, and like teams like Misfire and Team 17, Dix and stuff, they're kind of going to be the last ones. And hopefully, when the music stops, there's a chair for them to sit in.
Excellent analogy, as usual.
Because I mean, I know it's very frustrating. What you guys are going to be playing for, like I said, 20 minutes, and they're still going to get 1 point. As much as the team that got knocked out in the first 30 seconds. In fact, at this point, the most it can be is 35 minutes, Nick, and we're already so the match can't last more than 15 more minutes before there's no zone at all. So we'll have to see. These teams are going to start running into each other and fighting very, very hardly. A lot of people are going to die very, very quickly.
We got Men of 4 and is this actually Hacks? It is Hacks. Team 13. Hacks has Cobra and Louis both down. Louis finished off. Cobra is going to bleed out. Men of 4. So So Attitude, the last one left. I'm not exactly sure where he's located at. He's not in the area.
And even if you have a compound, you've got to like stay super careful because someone can see you from far away. If you're in a window or something like that, this is especially a TPP. You want to stay low. Use your TPP peak. You don't want to get knocked from who knows any direction because there's people pretty much in a 360 all around you.
Yeah, definitely. So where a little bit different strategies come out than what you see on Monday nights.
Yeah, it is a little bit more aggressive on Monday nights, obviously, because you have to kind of peek to see somebody. So you'll see a lot more knocks, a lot more squad rushes. Where it looks like right now, at least, just the base of the teams. Now we have 21 teams. Still, a lot of people are staying alive a lot longer and don't want to make bad decisions.
Yeah, I mean, first person, you just about have to crash a compound to find out if anybody's there.
Exactly.
And they got to be looking out the windows to see you coming, you know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot more 4v4 squad rushes where it's a lot more, at least it seems in here, a lot more drive-by shootings, guys getting shot out of vehicles, guys getting shot from distance because, like I said, they're hard peeking. If you're hard peeking, that's one problem I've had it for a while. I tend to hard peek in TPP too much. Artemis is always yelling at me about it because you don't need to do it. And one thing you want to do when you're a squad is don't be the first one knocked. That's very, very important because, like I said before, when it's a 4v4, it's going to kind of hold everybody apart.
Grim just got ran over.
Oh, jeez, I saw, yes.
Elite did not live long after that, though. I think it was worth it, though.
That was crazy. Wow, that was... I always like it when they crash and they jump out of their vehicle and start shooting while they're still in air. I always like that animation in the game.
Brett, the crown means that you have Prime Gaming, formerly known as Twitch Prime.
Oh, it's been rebranded.
Yeah. Now it's just called Prime Gaming. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they did.
So they paid a company a lot of money to tell them to do that.
Yeah.
And now these teams trying to push in a little bit closer. There's less and less room. Still 18 teams, almost 25 minutes in. You get all these teams still getting 1 point.
Is Misfire and Outcast Alpha going to be holding hands on their way in the zone?
Dump Misfire. They've got true savages on one side
What
of them.
shots there from Jokester?
And Men of 4 to their left.
Remember, boys and girls, if you're more than about 100 and some odd meters away, the grass does not appear, and when you're laying prone, you just look like a giant target on the side of a hill. And Jokester will just stop his car and get out and shoot you. Oh, Gold gets knocked. Misfire and Outcast Alpha. One of the many fights going on right now.
Yeah, this is like a 6-7 fights going on between Misfire, Outcast Alpha, Men of 4. Artemis just missing that revive that would have helped him out. Let's see if he can get picked up. But I think they've kind of forgotten about them in the blue, this Misfire team. Outcast Alpha also being out in the blue.
They're both kind of stuck.
This is a deadly. So it looks like they're giving up all the health. Smart play by Outcast Alpha, giving all their health to Wadu so he can make it out of this blue. Hopefully get these guys some points. They don't want to get knocked out in 14th place.
And there's the play zone. MVP in the kill feed.
Let's see if Watt will be able to get out of this blue. He's got a little ways to go. Plus, he's going to run right into True Savages. Trying to use all these healths that his team. His team gave him all these first aids. Let's see if he's going to work out.
Now, Okay, I'm confused. This player had a UMP and a Tommy gun. Like, is that what he chose to have, or was that all he found? I'm a little concerned. Like,
I am using that. You see a lot of like Wadu, Hector Marcus. You said time. This new Tommy gun with the scope on it is so dangerous.
So
it's such a great weapon.
I agree with the Tommy gun, but if you have a Tommy gun, like don't pair it with a UMP. Like, I mean,
is it sniper?
The UMP is slightly better than it was, but I mean, I don't think that that's a choice. Like, I think if you have those two guns, it's because you didn't find anything else.
It could be. I mean, it could be a case where he gave the better guns to his teammates. Now he's the only one left. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to find out.
He was the only one left. That is true. Yep. Maybe he only wanted to have to carry one type of ammo. I don't know.
Look at and Outcast Alpha knocked out in 12th place. So that's obviously a big decision, big turn for them. A lot of teams. There's still 10 more teams coming in here. Where the 26 minutes, it would only be 9 more minutes long. 187 still keeping. They still have 3 of their players, along with Jokes, just still alive after losing a guy early.
Men4 looking for some more kills. You know, I've heard people complaining about the recoil on like the 5.56 guns now, but every time I see a player like Sinister here on Men4, full spraying with the red dot, and the dot is just not even moving.
Yeah, he's got the best hacks.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think people just like to complain.
Speaking of that, did you see these new triggers that? So obviously, if you single fire and single tap, it has less recoil than if you put it on fully automatic, right? On any AR. So these new triggers, it fires single fire 16 rounds a second.
What are you talking about? An actual trigger for an actual gun, or
no, trigger for
a thing for your phone?
For this phone, for your phone.
No, I have not seen that.
Yeah, it's so you put your weapon on single fire, and then when you fire it with a trigger, it rapid fires single tap and fire at 16 shots per second. So
I'm gonna have to wait till HyperX comes out with one of those, and then I'll pick one up.
Well, that's a good point, because then you'll know it's quality.
Yeah.
It's probably from some weird company.
This sounds a little sus. Like, what?
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, when you go to HyperX, you know, they put the research, the technology, and you know you're getting a quality product.
That was a nice nade right there. Elia just ate that nade.
Now now we've kind of spread it out, 17 up, 19 players. All of Men4 stayed up, 10 HP, still up. These guys, that's one quality thing you got to do is not only to make the last circle, but get in this last circle with as many of your players as possible.
Yeah, and then they're all running in as a front. They all stop to shoot. 2 of them get knocked. Mostly, I didn't see the kill feed, but you know what happens? You get shot down, and then you knock the player, but then the zone takes you out anyway.
A lot of our top teams are not in this end match. You know, we do have Dream Killers still around, but Men4, True Savages in 8th place. I mean, like this is what we talked about. If one of these teams, like True Savages, come here and win this whole thing, get 30 points, they're going to go from 8th way up. Men4 in 7th place, 10 HP outside the top 10 right now. So it fixes outside the top 10.
Oh, Men4 just 8 nades. That was true. I love this new effect. I don't know when they did this. When you're spectating somebody and they die and your screen goes to black and white. Have you seen that?
No, I will start watching that right now. I'm going to check this out.
If you're actually spectating, so I know you use free cam a lot, but if you're actually like specking on someone and they die, like the color just drains out of the screen. It just goes to black and white.
I am going to guess who I think is going to die next time I watch them.
Who's cursed?
Yeah. Right now, at least all these teams now, they've scored themselves some points. They got themselves.
Yeah, we are into the top 5.
no matter where they get knocked out now, obviously they want to win. But if they get knocked out now, they've had a successful first match going into the second match.
Oh! Can't just stand there shooting that much prod.
Glitchy.
Someone's gonna throw a nade right at you.
Yeah, that was a great nade by Glitchy. Now it gives a little bit of chance to pick up Sheriff.
UMP got a slight buff, it still sucks. So that's what I'm saying. That's why,
Yeah.
like first off, why do you have that gun? And then, like, if it's the only gun you could find, okay. But then, like, the other gun you have is a UMP. It's like, I can't believe that late in the game that those would be.
Bliss. Right now you can't be in the blue. You can't be in the blue. That happened to Bliss. Bliss just got a kill, and but he was in the blue. A second later, he was dead.
Yeah, that one last point probably isn't worth it.
So now you have Dream Killer Sarge, two players, I should say, from Vixen.
Sarge has no vest and no boost
Savage.
and no heals, and he has a Vector. I mean, the Vector can melt, but you gotta hit your shots with it, not like that.
He's getting up there. He's getting up there and battling.
There you go. Hit those shots. Oh, the molly.
Oh,
That was beautiful.
savage kill at the end there. Wow.
Now that was some teamwork to throw. One was throwing the molly, the other one was scoped in, so he had no chance. Sarge going down after 4 kills. Look at Twists, 12 kills.
Wow.
Dang, I mean, I'd like to see the damage numbers per player and see how many of those he stole after his teammates had like 95 damage on him. I mean, maybe that's not the case, but you know, it could be. But 14 kills for True Esports and the Chicken Dinner.
And get themselves just a lot of points. Like I said, these two Savages currently in 7th place.
So Dream
Just
Killers,
themselves.
we said what? They're currently in 8th place? No. They were currently in 5th place, right? The Dream Killer team? And
Yes, they were currently in 5th place. Yes.
so they just picked up 7 kills in 2nd place. Vixens coming out of nowhere, but 3rd place. Good to see that. Sheriff with 7 kills. They had 12 total. Alrighty. Let's grab the rest of these screenshots.
And also, sorry. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say then we'll take a look at something from HyperX, I'm sure, and then hopefully you've got your.
We already have all lined up. So as soon as you do your thing, we'll be ready to go, sir.
All right, cool. Let me get the rest of these screenshots then.
And as we wait, we're getting the bills paid and all the stats into the accountants and number crunchers to make sure that that we got the best scores. As soon as we finish that, we're going to have our first talk with the gents from Top Strikers. If you saw them earlier, they had a little bit of an early out in the beginning of the match. So we're going to have to talk to them about that.
We'll be back in less than 1 minute with that. All right, we back.
So, first of all, let me thank the guys from Top Strikers very much. We're doing our normal Wednesday deep dive with one team. Right now, we're going to be talking to Top Strikers, currently in 9th place. We got Rage, Ghost, and Legend all with us. First of all, one of the reasons why we want to talk to you guys, obviously, you're a high-quality team, been here many months, and you're right in that middle tier right now with so many teams where, 5 points here and there, 5 points more, and your guys are in 5th place, 5 points less, and you guys are in 15th place. Obviously, that first match not how you wanted it to end.
Oh no, not at all. But man, from the beginning of the tournament, actually, I've noticed that my team, not just with the high pings that we have over here, but also with the general, the basic, the devices that they use. It's not working out, man. They've been getting lags and getting into fights is one thing, but having to maneuver your way with all these lags and desync especially, it's terrible.
And to the viewers who don't know, where are you guys located out of?
Oh, we're in South America, man.
Exactly. A lot
So
of guys don't know that these guys are playing from the South American continent. So obviously, they're always going to have a little. They should have a little bit, but now you guys are saying that's really gotten worse lately.
oh yeah, it has gotten worse since the update. Yeah.
Really? Hmm. And that's actually a interesting event that how the update can affect you guys your whole
Your
season. You know,
gameplay.
and get your
Oh
gameplay.
yeah.
So with that said, obviously you guys understand that you guys are at a disadvantage just on your hardware. After you have a difficult first match, how do you recover into the second match going into Miramar to try to become more successful?
Well, I mean, I guess we just have to change our game strat from now. Basically, all we used to do before was hard drop, man. To be honest, from what
Hmm.
the old lobbies, no, I've noticed we were hard dropping all the time, and now that it's not working, we gotta. I guess we gotta find a new strategy. Probably play low and get more placement than kills. I guess. At least until the
So
game
okay.
fixes itself for us.
So that's I mean that's an interesting point. You guys have kind of a one kind of a mindset. You guys have playing it for quite a while, and now because of the update, you got to have to kind of like change the whole structure DNA or your whole game style of your team
Yep.
to try to adapt to this setback. So I mean,
Yeah.
because you guys are at that precipice where, like I said, one good event and you guys are top five, but one really bad event and you guys are 15th. So it's I think
Oh
these
yeah.
events are very important for a team like Top Strikers because guys like Top
Mhm.
Strikers, Men of Four, Misfire, True Savages, one or two good events and you guys are doing great, but it can be very difficult. So how do you now? You guys are going to the second match. How are you guys not getting salty, getting pissed off at each other? How are you keeping cool and calm and collected going into this next match?
I'll just have to leave that to Ghost to figure out.
Well, the first game nearly went our way. We just gotta focus on the 4v4 fights. Once we improve there, I
Mhm.
guess the long game play should come in play. I guess.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're definitely a team that can come in here. You had a poor finish in the first one, but it would not surprise me you guys get a top three, top two, even win a match and really erase that first difficult match. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
Oh yeah.
we just need one good game, and then the other ones come in good. So
exactly. Well, I'll let you guys get in. I don't we don't want to have you guys miss the match. We'll be talking to these guys after the second match, after this Miramar match. So we'll be able to see, hopefully, with a little bit better news, and they've kind of put themselves back in the middle of the mix, and then are really fighting for in the third match. But so good luck in this next match, guys. And we'll talk to you after Miramar.
okay,
Yeah.
thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
I really feel for them. That is not the first time at all that I've heard similar things about, right after the update, this, and that, and it never seems to be great. I'm trying to change something here. It seems like when they used to do updates and they used to um, take the server down for a few hours or whatever, and everyone
Yes,
was like
yes,
mad
I
about
remember that.
it. But now they're like, oh, we can do this without, doing the server maintenance. And then everyone complains that, oh, someone's editing this while I'm looking at it. Cool. Anyway, yeah, it seems like sometimes, like your computer or your phone or whatever, sometimes it just needs an actual reboot or something. But the other
Yeah, I mean,
thing
yeah.
is, it is true every time they update the game, it seems like it gets a little bit harder for a device to run. So if you have a
Yeah.
device that's now more than maybe like 2 years old, even if, I mean, if it was a flagship device 2 years ago, it's kind of getting to the edge of not able to keep up with the game anymore, even if you play on, the low graphic settings and everything like that. And now
Yeah,
with
yeah, that's a great point.
some of these devices getting 90 FPS capability,
Mhm.
and you might have yours set on 60, but occasionally it drops down to 30 or 20 or whatever. That's
Mhm.
really going to make it difficult for you to be competitive. I understand exactly what they're saying from that perspective. Luckily, I personally don't have to deal with the ping issues,
Mhm.
but that's just compounding things for them.
I mean, I think I'm in that boat. I have a 2018 iPad Pro. Obviously, when I first got it, I was like, the cat's meow. But I've noticed now, like we talked about it last week, I can't get the 90 um, FPS, and I have noticed in this last update, when I sight in on a scope, a 4x or 6x, I literally drop frames. And I can just tell that I've dropped a lot of frames from if I'm just looking around without scoping it. But once I scope in, I just drop frames almost immediately. And also
During
I
the
have
animation of scoping in, or just while
no,
you're
just like
scoped in?
once I'm scoping and looking at things, it just feels I can feel that, like, I don't know how to describe that. When you've lost frames, it's just kind of like
Oh, I know
um.
exactly what you're talking about. Welcome to my world.
And I also have I don't know what it's called, but I have a lot of, I call it like lightning events. Like, so I'll just be driving, and then like the sky will flash, and like things will like render and then re-render immediately. I don't know what that is, but and then you're like almost the sky will get dark and then light again while I'm like, if I'm driving or if I'm in a vehicle and stuff like that on occasion. Especially though, just this last update though, I don't know what is causing it. Maybe it's just because there's more things to render than there was before, but it just seems that since this last issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I know for quite a while there's been, more of those types of issues you hear on, normally you hear it with Android devices, but that's mostly because there's such a broad range of, Android
Yes.
devices, and some of them are, better than others. Typically, if you have, like an iPhone 10 or whatever, like they're pretty much all the same. Like you have an iPhone from 2019 or 2018, it's pretty capable. I'm like almost shocked to hear that if you're having issues with an iPad Pro that's only a couple of years old. One thing to point out though, because I did see this a lot on Twitter after the update, a lot of people were concerned that they didn't have the capability of running the game at 90 FPS. And I mean, it boils down to it won't be unlocked on any specific device unless that device has a 90 hertz or better screen, right? So, like, let's say you have an iPhone 11 Pro Max. It has the hardware capabilities of running the game at 90 FPS without much of an issue, but it only has a 60 hertz refresh screen. So
That's my issue.
it doesn't make any sense for them to make the processor work harder to draw 50% more frames when you can't see them anyway. That's just going to drain your battery down faster, heat the phone up more. It does several negative things, and it doesn't actually give you any real benefit, I wouldn't think. I mean, I don't see the point of drawing 30 extra frames per second that you never get a chance to see anyway. I do have the scores here from that first match. True Savages obviously on top. Vixens, though, coming in second place off of the kills because they did have 12 kills. So that bumped them up into second place over Dream Killers in third. If you're seeing all the NAs on the second page, that's because there's some ties, and then the ties take out teams from the standings, and then the spreadsheet just fills them in with blanks, more or less. So there are a full number of teams here. We're not leaving anyone out. back into it.
Nice plane path in this one.
Let's take
Down
a look.
down the
Ooh,
center.
right across the middle of the map.
Really gives anybody, pretty much wherever you want to go, you can either get close enough to get a vehicle or get there. This should, I say, allow teams to spread out a little bit. But as you've seen so many times in the Miramar match, you know, the teams they like to drop and they drop, and they're gonna go there. You know, 2 teams are probably gonna go to Picado. You know, how many are gonna go to Hacienda, San Martin, Los Leones, Paula, stuff like that. We'll have to see if teams use this mid-range plane path to spread themselves out, give themselves a little bit more room to loot.
Yeah, Miramar is an interesting map in that perspective. You know, the fact that it has more square inches of ground, but the loot seems to be more centralized to only a few places. I know in the, you know, when they did that update to Miramar like a couple months ago, they said that they increased the loot, but I mean, you still can't land in the middle of nowhere and go in a little shack and get looted up.
Exactly. The thing is that, do you have loot? Yes, there's more loot, but is there enough loot for a squad? And there's only a few places the team's gonna go. Monte Nuevo, Chumacera, Picado. These are the places, San Martin, these places that people are going to go to, because that's where there's enough loot for an entire squad. Now, if you're playing solos or duos or whatever, or classics, maybe you can get away with it, but there's only so many places you can go to. Unless you're just going to run from little shack to little shack, and that's really going to take a lot of time because they're so spread out.
Yeah, and then, you know, who knows where the first zone's going to go as you're trying to run around the whole desert. There's a lot of teams going south of Impala.
Yeah, you got Metaphor and Misfire right on top of each other. This looks like a battle for vehicles right here.
There's another team in there too. Is that one of the Outcast teams?
Yeah, no, that guy's just by himself. Whoever that guy from number 4 is, I think he got his one guy from Outcast Charlie. I think he's just on his own program, just doing himself.
I see. Okay.
Misfire got some vehicles. They're turning around. They're going to try to get. They got themselves a boat. All right. So Misfire Artemis got himself a boat. He's tearing down the shore, and Zozu and Vulcan got vehicles. While looks like Bad Company and the rest of Outcast Charlie are up there fighting it out.
On the complete opposite side of the map, Outcast Bravo is in a fight with Drop. We got one Outcast team on the southeast, one Outcast team on the northwest. And Jay White, Mr. Bacon, already eliminated from this match. Looks like Spirit and Karma are trying to get the heck out of there.
Yeah, it looks like
now I see Misfire taking some heavy damage.
For some reason, 2 of the members decided to go down and deal with Metaphor up where they already had some time to get loot, and this got ran right through. Zozu and Fatboy, and now Artemis and Vulcan are down in Puerto Priso, duking it out with them. I know, because the guys from Misfire, Zozu and Fatboy, drove up into there. I don't know, maybe they didn't know that the Metaphor was up there, but they drove right up into him. That doesn't seem like that would have been the wisest choice at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to believe that they wouldn't know they were there. They were basically holding hands as they were parachuting.
Exactly. That's a very good point. But Drop It and Bravo have their own issues going on.
Well, yeah, that's going to be Outcast Bravo is going to be done with this match early on.
And this
got
Outcast
some time
Bravo
to go do some TDMs or something.
This Outcast Bravo team brought in, pretty much took 2 players from Drop, Spirit and Karma, and put them on their Outcast Bravo team. Those, the Drop Bravo team. Now, this Drop Bravo team was, I think, in 13th place. So they left a 13th place team to go and join a 21st place team in Outcast Bravo. And the results really haven't shown themselves out so far. The two events they played, the two scrims they played together so far.
So let's see. Picado does have two teams there. Woo and the Forgotten. These two teams.
These two are
they
like
cannot leave
always
each other
going at
alone.
it.
They're like siblings. Like.
And I mean, it's just a matter of time. You know that you think that how many times is the Woo gonna just give it to the Forgotten before? Because they've really gotten the better of it. And that's why the Woo is currently doing so much better in the overall standings, with them being in 4th place while the Forgotten are in 11th place so far overall.
I mean, the Forgotten is a solid team.
Yes, I mean, let's see, might be coming 3rd place.
Stat for stat, the Woo might be slightly better, but when you throw, complete RNG into the mix, if they're 10% better, but they get automatic guns and you get pistols, it's.
I think that the real tiebreaker is the gameplay of Trick from the Woo. He's currently leading the fragger list with 42 kills. And just about how that is, 2nd place is Brownie with 26.
Can you do some on-the-fly statistical work and tell me how many of those 42 are the Forgotten members?
I would say probably at least, I'd say 8 to 12.
I mean, they're basically... Are they feeding them? I mean,
maybe. I mean, it's just like, one thing that the Woo's been doing. One thing that they've kind of been their downfall is they didn't really play as a team. They're great players, but they haven't been playing together. But now it seems they've kind of really got together as a team and have played a lot smarter, a lot stronger. As you see now, Trick and Jonica and Srek all kind of pushing, getting together, while the Forgotten's all in that red stack is kind of just peeking them. Keep an eye on them while Bug's going back into the arena to try to loot and get as much extra utility. He's probably hitting up those vending machines as many times trying to win the lotto, get to APAC, and so he can bring that to the rest of his team.
187 Black has 4 kills already. I don't know what team it was they took out, but maybe Team 25? Not sure. Either BTE or Outcast Charlie, probably.
Look at now, of course, what happens to the Woo. Talk about some RNG. A crate lands right behind them.
Well, that's a flare.
Oh, it's the flare, even better. So they're able to get that flare. Are they not taking that MK? Well, I'll take it if you don't want it.
Yeah, I would be lined up for that. I mean,
I love that weapon.
I don't know what other guns they have, but it's hard to turn down an MK.
Well, looks like they're not going to take it. Maybe Trick, it's Trick said, "I'll take it. I'm just going to smoke it first," and they're just leaving it for him.
Yeah, looks to be that way. Yeah, I think he dropped an M24 for it actually. Oh no, he picked up the He can't decide. He's got an Uzi and an MK. Put this man inside of a building and he can just destroy everyone.
So now the big decision now, Nick, is who's going to make that first move. Gizmo's kind of pushed back. He's gone over to the right. This is a case of someone's got to get a knock. Maybe 2 knocks. You need 1 knock to close the distance and 1 knock to push in. And I really think that the Woo is kind of better set up right now to push, where Bug and Gizmo kind of pushed back a little bit too far. If Blade and Kel do get a knock on Trick or Jonica or one of these players, can Gizmo and Bug push up and get to where the team is and move forward? Or are they looking to rotate out of there?
Yeah, I think the plan is not to stay around Picado.
Yeah, it looks like they're making they're deciding to try to rotate out of there. They've looted the area they want to, and now they're going to kind of beat feet. And it looks like maybe that's the same plan for the Woo. I mean, the Woo has had the better side of forgotten lately. Doesn't mean to say they don't still respect them and don't want to have to deal with them if they don't have to right now. The Wu is very, very good at getting kills at those last circles. You know, getting multiple kills and stealing kills in the 5th, 6th circle.
Yeah, well, then their strat should be to stay alive until the 5th and 6th circles, I believe.
Well, I mean,
seems like a solid idea.
we've talked to Trick before, and really, they consider themselves experts at Sandhawk. Their goals are really just to get top 10 in Erangel, top 10 in Miramar, and then frag out in Sandhawk to make up a lot of points. So as long as they just don't want to have bad matches, I guess, in Erangel and Miramar. And we have lost a few teams. Looks like there's a lot of teams coming up from the south. There's going to be a little clog up by Chumacera, up by Los Leones in that area. Misfires waiting a little while in the blue. They lost 2 of their members. Vulcan and Artemis took a boat from Puerto Paraiso up until like the islands just to get away from Beta 4. Obviously trying to save some, get some points for placement, because as they didn't score very many points in that first match, they're trying to rescue some points in the second match.
Broham Alpha down at your favorite spot, Chumacera.
Oh, well, you know what?
Collecting a flare, but who else is here?
And look at this. The guys who were just kicked out of...
The toxicity is thick. They're like, thank you, boys.
I hope they don't have all chat on.
We'll be taking that flare. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, I mean, there's still 2 of them up. This could go either way, but...
I mean, it could. I mean, obviously, I would say the Dream Killers have kind of taken, like I say,
never
the
mind. He's not
in
up.
this situation.
They only have 1
but
up.
It's just mass now.
He's got a Tommy and an AK though. Squad.
I'll tell you what, if you
go.
knock somebody, thirst him.
He won't have. I think he's AFK.
Maybe he got so mad he was just like, I'm done.
No, he just moved. How did they not see him through the window?
Although I am getting word that there are some guys that are getting kicked out of the game, including I just got confirmed. One of the guys on my team, Artemis, got kicked out of the game, but he's still obviously in it. His player's still in it. We'll have to see how that's going to affect Misfire.
I've seen this player move like slightly a couple times. I don't know, maybe do they do that when you're AFK? I know they have some weird AFK animations.
I don't know. He just moved right there. He like turned to the left and the right.
Like on Vikendi, if you're AFK too long, you start shivering and stuff.
Yeah, I think he's just like, until he sees somebody TPP, he's just gonna stay completely silent. Maybe.
Well, the whole team ran in front of the window he's right next to before. That's like, how did they not see him in there?
I mean, they don't have that orange colored outfit. Maybe they. I don't know.
Yeah, they're loading up in the truck. They're like, "See you, boys. Thanks for the flare."
Let's see. Well, I guess we'll have to see if he jumps up now when they take off.
Oh, he could. He could snag this trailer. Stand up and shoot him.
Oh, you can shoot him all out of there. I think he's AFK. I do.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, there's no way he wouldn't have taken shots.
Especially when they all got in the vehicle. And one of the guys from Misfire just told me that he just was playing and he just went AFK in the middle of the game, like literally right at the same time as this guy. So maybe it was a multiple. Let's see if anyone else had any issues in this Miramar match, because as you remember, we had that issue a few weeks ago with Miramar. It seems like Miramar's always a glitchy kind of map for some reason when it comes to customs.
Yeah, that thing a couple weeks ago was everything though. We noticed it on Miramar, but it was a widespread issue. Even customs weren't working, or not customs. I mean classics.
Oh, it looks like Artemis was able to get back into the game, so he was able to reset and get back in, so good for him. I really hope that this guy, Mass, comes back, because if he... Oh, he's running! He was alive this whole time!
He's like Snake King right there. I mean,
Well, now he's running into a wall. So I don't know if he went AFK again. Nope, he's alive. He's I don't know what he's doing. He's looking around like it's just, he's like a newborn. Like he doesn't know where he is. But he did stay alive.
It's his first
and
match.
And he's running into the blue. So, okay. I bet his teammates are telling him where their crates are, so he can try to get loot them, get as much health and stuff as he can for the safety Scrim. Just stay alive, don't get killed, find themselves a nice little compartment here and there to stay alive in.
Man, another flare. Hack's got a flare. Flares all over the place. They got an AWM in their drop.
And look at these teams. A lot of these teams coming in from the north, like Infamous. What a great spot they have right now. Mena 4, Bravo, Outcast Alpha. Really, anyone up in that northern section is just kind of like has no drama. It's really staying safe, and calm, and collected. And we are 16 minutes in. Still got 20 teams.
Well, now Mena 4 and Dream Killers. Trading some shots.
This is a big battle right here. Oh, if you don't have a
FP's gonna
grenade
bleed
right
out. He got freaking shot down. I hate that when you're knocked and then you get shot. You don't get thirsted. You just get shot so low that you just have to sit there and bleed out. Ugh.
Oh, they're lucky enough to knock out Unknown from behind. Now they can really kind of push these two guys, Sarge and Marsh. You guys got to be smart. I'd be hitting them with every grenade, every molly I have on these two guys. You know exactly where they are. Just dump as much of your utility on them as you possibly can.
Woo. BBC was taking your advice with a molly. Barely escaped getting knocked.
Obviously, they're going to push BBC from the right, or the left, Real Deal from the right, along with Agony. They're just going to be doing it at the same time.
Getting close with these mollies, just hard to get them to land perfectly over the wall.
I mean, so careful, BB. Metaphor. They don't want to make a mistake.
Looks like Marsh has a nade. He does. Ooh, good nade right there.
BBC needs to push from his side as hard as he can. Come behind him.
That nade knocked both of them.
Yeah, he needs to push the opposite way. He needs to rotate the other way behind Sarge and come behind him. Now it's going to be difficult now.
I think he was trying to come back to protect his boys.
Oh, he's got one. Can he get Sarge? This is very close. It's so low. This would be hyper clutch if BBC could pull this off.
Especially if he does it in time to pick up his teammate. Well, that ain't gonna happen.
No, he's gonna. That looks like Sarge. This is time. This is when you should push right out. He's picking him up. Picking him up. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, if he peeked in that window 1 second too long, he should have gone around that corner. I mean, obviously, hindsight being 20/20, but just an extra couple seconds for Marsh to disengage from that heel could have been the big difference.
I think he thought he could get him through the window.
Yeah, that was the jump play. I mean, it was a good. I see where he was coming from, so I can't really fault him. But man, it's got to be tough being that close and coming up short. And that's how a lot of these 4v4 squads are. One team wins, one team loses, but it's such a close.
It's like a 10 HP difference by the time everything's said and done. Well, one team comes out of there with 2 players, and the other team is done for the match.
I mean, if you look at that, I mean, that team that was a 5th place versus 7th place team right there. So, it wasn't like two like jamokes, like so bunch of noobs. They were 2 quality teams, and it was so close to the end.
True taking Hacks out.
Wow. Again, the #1 team. That's 2 matches where Hacks hasn't really had a really strong match. So we should see some change to the top of this power rankings list coming into Friday's match. But now, with that said, True Savage is losing 2 of their guys are dropped.
Yeah, this is Vixens, I believe.
Vixens
had a great first match. Maybe they'll follow it up with another good match.
The problem with the Vixens is they don't show really enough matches. From looking at the scores, they've only played a few matches, so it's really cost them from being farther up in the ranks. But that's part of this Scrim season, is that a team could come in here once or twice a week, or maybe just once a week, a few events that just really cause havoc on some of the top-ranked teams. And they just dip.
I don't know if Artemis made it back in, but
No, he did. They both got.
I was gonna say he was just killed. If he was in the game or not, I'm not sure, but I saw him in the kill feed.
But they rolled right into spray and pray. And now all these teams in the south and in the west all try to push into this super small hacienda / San Martin circle. It's about to get vicious. Now the team we talked to earlier, this top strikers team, pushing over into that spray and pray team.
We got Drop and 187 fighting. We got True and Vixens fighting.
Dude, this battle between Vixens and True has been going on for a minute. Just knocks everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's... I'd say it may be about to be over, but True's lost 2 players. So they have a couple knocked, and they're pushing, but it's just 2 of them. It's basically still a 2v2, even though they got 2 knocks.
Yeah. It's just really, it's Hazelnut and Freddy really kind of blocking off Freddy and see what Twists can do. And there you go. Now Freddy can put the but he looks like Freddy's taking rounds from distance.
Okay, so they got Vixens, but yeah, there's
that was
like
a
constant
battle.
187 shooting
I
at
think
them.
so, up there, yeah, from up on top, Jokester and Mystic up there on top. Or there's that Team 18 to the right, Outcast Charlie, putting some rounds on him. I said Outcast Charlie. I don't know any of these guys from Outcast. I don't know. They must have like took it out Outcast Charlie and put somebody else in, because I don't know any of these guys. And none of these guys that are marked at 18. I don't have to check the rosters, but
well, Team 18 is Walking Frag.
Charlie.
Yeah,
that's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm sorry. You are correct. I misread.
I'm pretty sure Outcast Charlie was eliminated pretty early on in here.
Yeah, I was to say, like, what am I missing here? But yeah, this Walking Frag. This is Walking Frag. This is another team that only shows. This is only their second event, but they did very well in one of them. But they just haven't played enough.
Wow, 187 Black just taking out the Woo.
Ooh, wow.
Like, I'm not gonna say like it was easy, but it just looked like they just pretty much pulled up. Jokester as the never-ending magazine in this Uzi. What? Sir? Let go of the trigger, sir. Oh, there we go. You just switch guns. I won't stop shooting, just switch guns.
Well, I mean, I need that hack. Unlimited bullets.
That's called a bad internet connection, I think.
Oh. I presume everything is a hack that I want to get my hands on. That like somehow it's just right outside my grip. And now this is the part where it's all angles. It's you think you're fine, and all of a sudden you get your dome peeled back from a shot from 250 meters where you didn't even see. Because it's just so wide open. Like Mass right there. He's just running, and now he's just getting pelted by Jokester. And so what happens? The C-Dub drives right past him.
Ooh, that was a hard hit there.
Wow.
Freddy with the A-dub.
And Mass getting the kill on C-Dub before he ends up getting killed himself. And now looks at this 2017. This 2017, obviously not doing it after 4 events, not where they want to be, but they're really trying to make up for lost time so far. Although they weren't, I don't know what place they came in the first match, but they're definitely with 12 kills already in the second match, really going to town.
Got a mess on the northwest side, it looks like. Like a lot of activity going on up there as well. Spray and Pray just got taken out. Infamous is up there. The Uprise Elite in the area, along with Bad Company.
A lot of teams that we haven't seen a lot of teams that what I would call the 3 match teams are not. We have 187, the Forgotten, and then that looks like maybe Infamous and Metaphor. Those are the teams that really show up for all the events. And so many of these teams are outside of the zone right now, especially this 5th zone. So spicy.
Yeah.
You know, this is all trying
Sway
to push
gets one
right
more
now.
point. Oh! His box
Whoa.
is in this. It's not in the blue. That's what you call desync right there, because he clearly wasn't in the blue when he died, but he was still taking blue damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's rough.
Like he's like my box is in the safe zone.
If I was him, I would restart my device going into this next match, because that gives you heartbreak right there if you're in the game.
If I was any of these players, I'd probably be restarting my device between every match anyway.
What I do is I do start my device before I do this, or before I when I start playing, and it does. I do think it helps. And now with these teams, I mean, these teams have got to move in. Right now, if I'm these teams like Team 8, if I'm Global Warriors or I'm 10HP, yes, you have to deal with the teams around you, but you have got to get out at the end of the zone. You can't beat this zone. It's going to kill you. You can beat any other player on this map if you give given the right opportunity, but you'll never, ever beat the blue. So you need to get in as quickly as possible.
FBSS doing some work there. Metaphor.
Like right now, Vivid's not going to make it. He can heal all he wants. He's not making it out. He's not making it into the zone. Oh my goodness! I apologize, Vivid. You made it with 1 HP. I'm sorry. You made it. And now, I mean, you talk about like one side having a dominant position over the others. 187 and True Savages, obviously the best spot, and then what is it, 18
Walking frags.
And then Metaphor and Mobile Warriors obviously in the least. I didn't even know if they can even get up there. To tell you the truth, they might just have to deal with the situation that the hand has been dealt to them.
Yeah, it's kind of a long way to go around. I don't think there is a way to get up there.
I don't think they can make it. I think I would just try to get close to the edge, get as close as I can get, and just try to
which is
heal
about
as
right
long as I
here.
can. Yeah. And look at these guys. What they have? Zebra, Mystic. I mean, they just doing such damn. Oh, but they not get the knock on Jokester. So that's down to 2 players. Although Zebra and Mystic are super high quality. This is at least a chance for these guys.
Oh, look at the way the vehicles crashed. Katie gets knocked underneath. What an angle.
They're trying to get over to get Mystic now. And Overdose is godly. I don't think they...
No helmet
They're
for
going to be
Overdose.
able to pick up Jokester. Look at, like, Elba Mont down there, like, and Mamba. Just getting murked.
Yeah, now it's like fish in a barrel when you're up top.
Yeah, Mamba gets killed by Elba just trying to stay alive, just as long as they can, try to get as much...
Oh, another
weight
kill
as possible
under
as they
this...
can.
Under the... like, wedged up Blazer here.
Yeah, so now 187. Now it's just a matter of time. They see who's on there. They're just gonna, if they have any grenades, if they're just gonna rain down fire and napalm on these guys. And here they go. They're just gonna. Now they're like probably making best with each other. See who can hit them with a grenade first. Oh, but Jokester does get knocked. So. And that's, I think, his 3rd knock, so he's bleeding up pretty fiercely. Alma trying to get up that hill, but then falls back down, can't do it. But kudos to this Metaphor Bravo team. First of all, for getting a 2nd place finish minimum, and still trying to stay competitive, trying to do what they can. Although it's going to be very difficult. Looks like they're going to drop down and not give 187 those last kills. If they can, they're jumping back in, but Mama's not going to make it. Mama's going to die to the blue. Elma trying to punch up, but they've just run out of time, run out of space.
Yeah.
And that is
No, you can't get up there.
What a shame for Bravo. They did so well.
Even if you had full boosts and like 5 first aid kits, you'd probably need to go out of the zone and around and back up to the hill on the other side.
Well, look at that 187, like 187 of old, Nick, with 19 kills. Just being so successful.
19 kills.
But then teams we don't talk about. Metaphor Bravo, 2nd place. Walking Frags, a team this is only their 2nd event. They're coming in 3rd place. Team 4, which is Mobile Warriors, a team this is only their 2nd event. So they're coming to 4th place. True Savages, a team that we have seen that has played quite a few. They're currently in 8th place, so in the overall, so they're going to score some big points. 10 HP outside of the top 10, and then Infamous way outside the top 10. I think they're in like 21st or 22nd place in that top place. It's not till we get what's that, BC, that being the Bad Company, not in the top 15. I think it's not till we get down to the Forgotten in 9th place, who they're in 11th place overall. So we have like pretty much no teams that are top tier except for 187 Black, who really was successful in that 2nd match. It's not until we get down to 12th place where Outcast Alpha comes in. But with that said, I know that we do have. We're gonna give these guys from. Hold on.
Let's check out one of the other prize package products.
Yes, so while we get these guys in here.
Wrangle up your guys. We'll be back in about 30 seconds or so.
Call my name, yes, come and say my name. Call my name, I'm never gonna stop it.
All right, they're not auto fire triggers, but
Clip from our sponsors, HyperX. We are now lucky enough to bring in the guys from Top Strikers, Ghost and Rage the Beast. So and Legend. So obviously a little bit better, 13th place, but still I don't think a place where you guys were really hoping for in that match. What went wrong for you guys in that second match?
Well, what went the beginning of the game? We lost Zeus, so that kind of made us kind of weak. And it's the same team from the first game as well, so that made us kind of question ourselves. And it went haywire after that. We pushed, I think it's SNP, and they were 4 strong, and we kind of lost 2 teammates as well there.
So I mean, you guys kind of have like a similar situation, like say Misfire. Misfire hasn't had a great match. I've been watching them, but I know that one thing that we say and stuff is that okay, throw those last 2 matches away. Let's have at least one good match. Let's finish off the night with one good match. If you get a top 5 finish, you're gonna get a lot of points. And you get yourselves back up into like top 10 and get some points overall. So how are you guys kind of focusing in this last match in Erangel?
Well, I guess it's going to be a bit different from the first game, and we got to change location again. So let's see how it works out as well. And I think we got to 3 man in this game because Zeus is kind of unavailable at the moment. So let's see how it is out first in the last game.
I mean,
we'll have to do something a little bit more smart.
So I mean, how you guys staying? Not getting the same team. You run into the same team and stuff. How are you guys gonna go into this third match? Not like even more salty. How you staying not getting too pissed off?
Legend, take it
Or is it already
He's
happened? You guys are just we're just pissed off and we're gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
Like to be honest, we already had to deal with toxic teammates. We've done it in the past, and I mean it's how we talk to each other. I guess it might be a bit serious at the start, but then we crack a few jokes and it's over, man. We can't take it serious. It happens.
Yeah, well, I know how it's kind of like guy talk. You get pissed off for like 30 seconds, you start yelling at each other, and then 30 seconds later, you forgot what you're pissed off about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys are always like great guys to talk to. I know you guys are, have been in these scrims for quite a while, and you always do very well. So I wish you guys nothing but good luck into this last match, and again, thank you guys very much for spending your time with us tonight, letting us come in there and seeing that even if the events don't turn out perfectly, you can still have a good time and not take it and not really want to murder your teammates or each other. But and I tell you what, I wish you guys nothing but good luck in this last match. I hope you guys win this last match and really turn this whole night around. Well, I hope you come in second behind Misfire.
Okay. We'll try.
Hey, how long have you guys been playing together?
Well, in competitive,
Yeah.
the same team since we started, like since I think it's 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah, so that goes a
With the
long
same
way
teams.
when you lose a couple early battles like that, but you've got some good synergy. You can trust your teammates. That really goes a long way. So good luck in the third match.
No, thanks.
Thank you very much.
That's a great point, Nick, is how important synergy is. I think to me, it's 75-25. There's a lot of good players in PUBG Mobile, but there's very few people that you want to spend 4 to 5 hours with a day playing, talking to. That's a lot harder to find. At least it has been in my PUBG career, so to speak, is finding people that I always say I'd rather play with a noob that I get along with than a great player that I can't stand. But again,
definitely.
that's just that's and of course I know it looks like everybody. To me, my thing that gets me super salty is when I do something I know I shouldn't have done and I do it anyway. And I'm like, why did I over peak or I overextend or something like that, and it's my fault. That to me gets me the most mad is when I make a mistake versus some people get mad at their teammates and stuff like that. So I really am harder on myself than I think any of my teammates at least. But I know each person has kind of like their. I had one friend who would pretty much grenade you if you took his loot from a person that he killed. That was his kind of pet peeve.
Yeah, I never got the that, you know, I have played with people that seem to be like super selfish. Like, that was
Yeah.
my loot. I was like, all right, but you already have level 3 vest, helmet, you know, and the guns you want. Like, like what else do you want? Like,
I one thing that really pisses me off is when people like are like, that's my kill or something. Like last time I checked, bots and players weren't assigned to each other. So
yeah.
you know, it pretty much like, oh, I was gonna kill him, and then you kick him and you killed him. Like, we don't have assigned kills. That's the thing that always frustrates me.
Yeah.
And the thing with,
I have been on both sides of that. I mean, I've literally had 4 or 5 bullets into a bot, and then had a player come running around the corner and shoot once and get the kill. I'm like, really? Really?
were you playing with Pickford?
No.
'Cause
I wasn't, but
I have no one to do that.
all right, let's check out the scores. After 2 matches, True Savages holding on to their first place spot
Wow.
with 72 points. 187 Black hot on their heels, just 4 points back there with 68 points. Look at the kills. Both
Wow.
teams with 28 kills. It's just placement points. It's
Yes.
you know, and they each have won a match, so it just, you know, the matches you don't win obviously make as much of an impact as the matches that you do. But Men of 4 Bravo in 3rd place.
And I mean, this team is, we've been talking so much about Men of 4, but this Bravo team is, I mean, we might have 2 teams from the same team, the same org in the top 10 after tonight.
Yeah, it could
It
could be that way. I mean, the
power rankings, they're being very strong in this match.
the you know, normal Men of 4 team they are in 8th place too, so I mean, they're going to be on the scoreboard at least at the end of the night from the looks of it, as long as they don't completely fall apart here somehow in the 3rd match. We're going back to Erangel, it looks like, for the 3rd match too.
Really? Oh, okay. Looks like maybe because we have such a large lobby, they want to spread it out. But you know, whatever. They don't pay me to pick the map. They just pay me to steal lines from you and.
I was going to say, wait a second. They pay you? When did
They pay me in compliments and
Compliments.
in assignments.
So the video that we just looked at was for this charge play clutch. I still can't get over this thing. Now, you know, you were talking about those triggers before. When I first started playing PUBG in Season 2, like, I bought one of those cheap, like, grips for your phone because it was uncomfortable. I couldn't figure out, I wasn't playing Claw at the time, and I couldn't really figure out how to hold on to my phone and play for a long period of time. Like, my hands would get like cramped. I was also playing on a little bit smaller phone, but the quality of this HyperX charge play clutch compared to those Amazon grips is insane. Just like the texturing that these have on the back, like, you can just tell like how much nicer this is. And the other thing is, I think I mentioned this last week, but it's worth mentioning again, the way that this is cut out on the sides so that you can actually plug your charger in and your headphones if your phone has a headphone jack. I remember having to take a Dremel to the cheapo grip and carve out the side of it so that I could actually plug things into it. And, you know, obviously this looks much nicer than the Dremel job. This has some nice padding even on the inside for your phone. So yeah,
it's got some quality. Just by holding it, you can tell that it's substantial.
Yeah, well, and one of the neatest features is this battery that you can charge up either plugged in or wireless if you have the Charge Play base or any other wireless charger. But when this sucker's charged up and you stick it on the back of your grip, if your phone is wireless charge capable, it'll charge your phone right through the grip as you're playing the game. I mean, it's like 200 IQ design right there. Everyone who you know, has to plug their phone in and then they can't use their earbuds because they got one of them, you know, Apple phones, whatever the case is, or, you know, a lot of new Android phones, this will wirelessly charge your phone as you play and not interrupt your headphone use, your earbud use.
And when you match up those HyperX earbuds with that grip with the battery, you're good for the whole day. You can go out, go to school, go to work, go do your hair day. You have enough power on your phone and the charger to play all day long. Plus, you're not carrying around giant headphones. You can be discreet. You can just pack it into your backpack, whatever, and go.
Yeah, the other thing too, I noticed the HyperX earbuds, they come with a little zippered, like semi-rigid case. So you can just like stuff them in that case, zip them up, throw them in your backpack or your pocket, and you don't have to worry about them getting beat up or tore up by whatever else you might have in your pockets or what have you. So definitely some good quality prizes there.
They did a good job in like putting the mobile back into this mobile gaming where you're not just stuck with your giant headphones plugged into the wall, can't move because you're going to lose your battery. You can just go anywhere you want now and play.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number off this battery. I want to say 3,000 milliamp hours or close to it. I mean, it's basically enough to charge most phones from 0 to almost full. Oh my gosh, I just saw Jonica caught a crossbow bolt and is knocked.
What? That's just hurtful.
Yeah, Cash running around with the crossbow, getting a knock early on. I better switch back to the game. I thought I did that already. Such a good streamer. Hacks running people over with cars. This is going to be one of those.
And look where they're at. Look where they're getting run over at.
Oh, of course. The crossroads of death right here.
That's right, Devil's Triangle. Don't ever drop there.
This used to be where these like two intersections were. That back in season 2 was a place where you would always try to drop over and fall on a car. But the problem is when there's 6 squads trying to fall on a car, there ain't 6 cars there.
Exactly. It's all risk reward, Nick. And yes, you can get in there and get a vehicle in a normal classic match, but when you said when 6 teams show up, you might as well just drop in
Trick
or drop the middle of the military.
Trick made it work with the UMP. The man has 2 HP left and nothing to heal with at all. I think his buddy just gave him some band-aids, but he was able to win that fight.
Hey, look at this going back to their home in Yasnaya, going at Woo.
Yeah, but True is here too. That's like the the wild
like
card.
Exactly. So if I'm the Forgotten, maybe I'm just gonna hold back, loot a little bit, let these guys battle it out, and then kind of roll in and try to roll over the scraps.
Now Trick is knocked. Trick had an AK, but he was never able to heal from that previous engagement. And that's going to be it for the Woo. They only came in with 3 players and immediately lost one off the rip to a crossbow, of all things. Can you imagine a crossbow basically ruining your entire match? Like 5 seconds in?
That is 4th place in the overall power ranking. So a high-quality team knocked in 22nd place. And now it's going to be this battle between True and the Forgotten. This seems that like your True's still in that looting phase. Can they get together and really get on the same page? Because looks like this
battles. Zarky. There's a war in Zarky.
Oh, Men of 4. No, Outcast. Well, Men of 4. One guy from Men of 4. Outcast Bravo and Outcast Alpha. All battle it out.
Yeah, I think Outcast Alpha and Men of 4 traded. They got 1 elimination each.
Yes, yeah, they've lost Wadu, but Sinister from where's the rest of
Drop picking up a kill.
Drop Bravo.
Team 23. Oh, that's Men of 4 Bravo.
Where's the rest of the team? Oh,
yeah,
they're
I have no idea.
Way far down by South George, like on the road to South George. So this team that was, I think you said they were like what, in like 2nd or 3rd place, Men of 4 Bravo.
3rd place, maybe?
Yeah, and they're obviously having a very, very difficult drop because, I mean, they've already lost 2 players. Only Sinister and Dark J are up, and they're way separated from each other. So,
Well, Dream Killer's back in Novo, but they're all alone this time. 10 HP at Millie.
they were able to get down there, and looks like the Spray and Pray just decided to take the last match off and not play. So, because that's usually their spot, that military base, but they're not in there. So it looks like Infamous is going to try to roll up into military and try to use that loot too. But with 10 HP there, it's gonna be on.
The latest thing at Yasnaya, there's a flare coming down. Looks like True got a flare gun, and the Forgotten, they got to be salivating.
Dude, I love the cojones of drop a flare while you're in a squad battle. I love that. Some teams they get flares and don't even shoot them because they don't want to track other people. These guys are shooting a flare while they're in a squad battle. It looks
Top Strikers picked a completely different landing spot, and they still lost a player early. That feels bad. They have not had luck on their side tonight.
Georgia, they have not. They've just had a rough call, but they said they were in 9th place. Probably going to fall out of that top 10 after today, but so
they could still pull this out. They got 3 players up. They got 2 kills, so they got the man advantage on Men of 4 right now. But
they're gonna have to score quite a few points, I think, to in this last match. But it could happen. They do have the skills for it. I'm not going to lie, but it looks like True is up in Yasnaya is kind of pulling back a little bit, going over towards the hospitals, like police station area.
Yeah, they probably got their flare and they're like, yeah, we should probably leave now.
We already got 3 kills. Let's not cause too much damage.
They heard Pickford say some wise words one time. Said you can't win the match in the first circle.
You can only lose.
So like, yeah, let's not hang out here.
And like I said, how many times have we seen guide teams rolling in, especially like 187 Black is notorious for it, rolling up with like 5 kills going into the last circle, then ending up with 19 at the end by just mowing down people at the end. If you can get to that last circle, there's going to be kills there to take. If you just have to take them.
$10 HP in military. Looking at
Infamous. With Infamous.
And that's why I don't really like the Mini 14.
Yeah,
how can you hit the man that many times and not knock him? He's literally like 5 HP, but he got behind cover. He's able to heal up and, kind of reset the fight. And now everyone knows where you're at.
I think Infamous, they're in a hard situation. They lost 2 of their members. Obviously, 10 HP. They got really good angles right now. It looks like they're going to try to back off, which I think is the smart move right now.
Man, it really looks like they've cleaned up the scope reticle on that VSS. I've not had an opportunity to use it since the update, but just seeing it here, spectating, I don't know, does it look bigger around, or maybe the lines in it are like thinner or more defined? I don't know. It looks like
I think it's just sharper. I think it just looks
easier to use.
Like not the lines aren't as thick, but they stand out just as they're just as prevalent, I guess would be the word. It's like I really liked the new Hollow. I was never really a big fan of the Hollow hologram site because it's just so big. It's so like kind of blurry and so much space. But I really like how it's kind of thinner and sharper.
It's kind of interesting to me how they made it look different on different guns, I guess, depending on how far forward or back it's mounted.
And,
Unfortunately, I think they did it backwards. Because on that type of site, when it's farther away from your eye, the ring gets bigger. And when it's closer to your eye, the ring gets smaller. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have it like reversed. But
yes.
like it's
'Cause when
all
you-
like
when you
whatever.
have it on
It's
the-
all good.
Yeah, when you have it on the Tommy, you can kind of, you're not looking, you're kind of like, you can see this away from you, you're kind of looking into the hollow from a few inches away, which is not like up against your eye, like maybe with an AR. But it's still very small though, and I think that's what I like. That was the thing I didn't like about the hollow, is that it was so big that it was hard to kind of like see your target and what was around it. But now I think it's opened up a lot more space from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, the IRL version of that scope, it's designed to only be using that circle at like 10 meters in it.
Yeah.
Because at 100 meters, that circle is 65 inches across. Like, what are you aiming at? 65 inches. It's
Yeah.
like if the person's laying down, maybe you got them like head to toe. But so
Look at this. I don't know if the Death or Dream Killers. It looks like they're going to drive over. I thought they were going to camp both sides of the. Maybe they are. They're maybe camp both sides of the bridge.
like we'll shoot them up, and then they'll think they get away, and then they'll run into the other side. That's
Yeah, because that looks like Infamous got away from one end, but now they're going to roll right into him on the other end.
the nice thing about a game where you don't have friendly fire.
Yo, yes.
You can like shoot at each. How did they? They made it through.
They drove off the edge.
They may not make it. Oh yeah, they're not gonna make it in the water. I can't believe they made it in the car without getting shot up more than they did though. Man, that water's something else now.
Well, I mean, that first attempt was very successful. They were able to finish off the last 2 members of Infamous, and now it looks like, if we watch it, it looks like Vixen's gonna roll. They're coming out of the blue by Primorse, and they're in the vehicles. They're gonna roll. Looks like maybe right into Misfire.
You know, you had mentioned earlier today how it looked like there's a lot more views going on the VODs, the replays.
Yes.
And I wonder how many of these teams are watching the broadcast back. You know, like tomorrow they'll watch today's back and try to figure out where teams are landing, where teams are rotating, and try to refine their strats.
Well, I mean, I definitely, like, back before the season started, I would kind of check it out, and it would be like, you know, between like 85 to 100 video views, and I figure that'd be about right for these teams. But now it's up to like 800, 700, 800, 900. I don't know who's watching.
Oh, that's a big difference. That's all the entire HyperX corporate office is like watching it tomorrow.
Maybe, I guess.
Hey guys, hi,
Thank
you.
Terrible. We had to have everybody watch it. You couldn't believe how terrible of a job we're doing. But I mean, I looked at it. I was like, I thought maybe like, you know, did we hire somebody to keep watching it over and over again? Because I mean, it's like every one is like over 700 to 800 views.
All right, Brownie, lock that down. Put it on sub only for VODs. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm kidding.
I mean, this you get paid. It's like I think it's $1 for every like so many commercials.
Nah, I don't think VODs work that way. I don't know.
Although I
there was
hit up with commercials on when I watched.
There was a caster who did that. They put all their VODs on sub only to try to force people to have to get subs to watch the VODs. I'm like, dude, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like,
was he a successful streamer?
I don't. How do you measure success? He was successful. He was successful at getting a bunch of people mad at him. So he got that.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's good.
Brownie has a VSS. I should ask him about
That's
the difference in the
surprise.
scope. That's
Yeah,
what I
well,
need to ask.
they'll be on. They'll be on as soon as it's over, so we'll be able to talk to them.
Man, you almost would have to have screenshots side by side to actually be able to compare. All I know is it looks a lot better. Like it
Yeah,
seems
it
like
does.
you can see more through it. It seems to me like the reticle's bigger around, like the objective that you're looking through. Did Drop get a flare? Yes. GG.
So a lot of these teams are going to look at. No one's after all the issues against night. Everyone's moved out and it's completely barren now. And so it looks like the Ghost of the Elite, Outcast Bravo, and Top Seekers are all going to be able to rotate up through that north pretty safely.
Did Vixens just shoot a flare? We got flares going for days. Who shot that? I won't be able to find it now. Okay. That had to be them. They're the only team south. No, it could have been Spray and Pray. So
Well,
Spray
it
and
looks
Pray
like
is in this
Drop-
match.
Drop
They just
has-
didn't go.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're where are
No,
they
they
at?
are.
By Gatka?
All right.
No, over by Farm, between Farm and Pachinki.
Pinky.
I wonder if that's who shot the flare. Oh, I hear a plane. Could have been. I don't like in Spectate you can't look straight up. No,
Yes,
there's
there,
the flare right there. And
Whatchamacallit
it
had
is
one.
Vixens.
Drop had-
It has to
Drop
be
had-
Vixens. Yeah, Drop had one, and then I saw one go up, and it's Vixens down there
Yeah.
on the south.
Well, lucky to them.
Yeah, they're all
they got-
alone down there.
Down there, all by their lonesomes can. They won't have anybody trying to swipe their.
So 17
Move
minutes
from-
into this match, there's still 19 teams alive.
And as I said, teams, no matter if it's still teams die now, they're still getting 1 point until they get that past 15 out of 15. 15 is when you finally start getting 2 points. And that's so frustrating for a lot of teams. I've been talking to a lot of teams, and they're playing 20, 25-minute matches, and coming out of here with 1 point. And it's kind of like, it's so difficult because, like I said, it can only be 35 minutes. That's
What do you say to those teams?
It is what it is. I mean, you gotta kind of break it down into 3 parts.
You got to get
initial
good,
drop.
bruh. Just
Yeah,
get good.
Yeah. And what I kind of do is I try to focus it on 3 different parts. The looting part, staying alive in the looting part, staying alive in this rotation part. Because we're only going from the second to the third circle, and then being successful in that last, keeping your angles right, staying not getting knocked, and if you see people getting knocked, knocking them. Like, you've seen how important it is to come into those last zones with 4 players.
Yeah, patience is such a huge part of success in this game. That might be different than a lot of games. Sometimes people, they just want to play a faster paced game or whatever. And I get that. But this game is such more of a chess match, than a
I agree 100%.
game of hopscotch or something. I don't know.
It's just there's so many parts to it. Like, you have to kind of like redefine your gameplay. Like, inside the same match, you start out, like I said, just looting, running around, just picking as much stuff up as you can. Then you get into this kind of driving like competition to see who can drive into these compounds, and then you fight people in buildings. And then at the end,
yeah.
And then it's like, how many times have you heard best driver NA? And then the third part is who can kind of just spread themselves out using their utilities, their vehicles, and fight in an open field. I'll tell you what, having a good driver on your team and not having one, you don't notice it until you don't have it, and then you're just like, oh my god.
Alright, there I think I just saw a little bit more recoil than I would have imagined with Bug and that M4. I'm still trying to get a handle on what people are saying, like how bad the recoil is now. But
I have heard With the M4 out with a 6X, that's like that used to be like kind of like the meta.
Yeah.
4X with this, and then it's gotten more difficult. It's got Gizmo. I think I just got knocked by the blue or by the red.
By the red. Yeah. Oh, he's got more landing all over him.
But that kind of like M4 with a 6X is not as effective as it once was.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, and I understand this is a video game, but no one IRL is going to take an automatic carbine and like an M416, put a 6-power scope on it, and just stand up and spray people from 300 meters away. Like that's not a thing. Like.
Well, that's why I spent 8 years in the Marines, and we've used my fair share of. We use 5.56 weapons, light and 7.62, and I've never done that once. I've never ever taken a M4 or an M16 for that matter with a 6X scope and just like from the standing position fired full auto at an able target. It's just not something that happens.
I mean, hitting a 100-meter target standing is on
hard
semi-auto is difficult enough without being like,
just
oh,
in a
let's
3-round
just put it in
burst.
full
You're
auto.
100% right. You're pretty much laying down, and at 5, we as far as you go, it's 500 yards, which is what 1,500 feet, 500 yards, and you're at full prone, and you're at an able target. And the able target is one that's half the body, and you're just trying to hit anything on that target. Not even trying to hit like a small dog target, which is like the the bullseye.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at 500 meters, it's just like make them put their heads down.
Exactly. You try to get like body shots and just put them down. But with that said, these guys, I mean, look at we got 19 teams, 57 people live. This is what we talk about. 22 minutes into this match. I mean, we're just running out of space. As simple as that.
The game mechanics for you. 187 black.
These players are good enough to keep themselves alive until this point, but then it just gets so crowded and so jam packed. You just have to. It's almost impossible to keep all of your ankles in check.
Yeah, especially if you start losing a player or two players.
This is the part where you just want to try to stay alive. People are going to be dying left and right. Just an extra 30 seconds, an extra 45 seconds, an extra minute to be 2 or 3 teams to get knocked out at this point in the game.
So what I was getting at, if there is a nerf to full auto ARs in this game, maybe it will actually create a situation where players will use guns other than M416s for everything. Maybe a DMR will actually, or a bolt action for that matter, will legit have a use again, unlike the current state of the game.
Oh, and one thing that frustrates me about this game in regards is that whether you're shooting from 100 meters or from 500 meters, it's almost like no drop, as opposed to real life, where there's a huge amount of Kentucky windage. Sure,
yeah, that's a big difference between mobile and PC. Like in PC, DMRs are the most preferred in PC over ARs, because when you single tap, like you said before, the recoil is significantly less. Plus, they do so much more damage per hit. But you do have to compensate on PC for a lot of bullet drop. There's a lot of bullet drop.
Misfire and the Forgotten are all about it right now.
Yeah.
Go drop or drop.
Oh.
And look at the Forgotten able to come out, although they do lose 2 kills, and that's what we're talking about.
Just one player up, Cal.
One player up. Cal's the only one up, and Misfire's out of there. Look at that Misfire playing. They come out of there with 1 point. They played for 24.5 minutes, and they're leaving this last match with 1 placement point. So it's just so difficult. But with that said, Gizmo looks like they're gonna have some revenge at the end, because Gizmo's. I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it out. Oh no, he gets shot by PC right
away. Yeah. Sway heard the shots, and they're just like, oh, we'll come see what's going on over here. Oh, you're putting bandages on, are you? Okay, here, hold these bullets for me.
Look at Outcast Alpha, just like always, finding themselves a compound in these last circles, stay nice and snug and tight, but they're going to have to rotate out pretty far down into this next zone, and I think that's something, one of the things that kind of like does Outcast Alpha kind of causes them a little bit of damage when they have to move in these late circles. When they get themselves a compound, they're almost unbeatable. But this movement's going to really cost them, especially when they're going to have to rotate right into 10 HP.
And you're looking at this next zone where there are no compounds.
Exactly.
And if you're trying to figure out, if you're the IGL and you're trying to figure out where to go, I mean, like, I don't know. It's all just land. Like, just pick a spot, I guess.
You've got some vehicles, 2 or 3 vehicles, and you can kind of go out there and try to make yourself a little bit of a compound. But Top Strikers are already kind of in there. Team that we talked before, they've got themselves, they made their stand. Because when you go into that, they're in this.
They're in a shack, aren't they? Yeah.
Beating themselves up, beating each other up. Just kind of saying, you know, they kind of made their stand. You know, this is where we're going to go. They're not going to be able to get out of there. Hopefully they can get the zone. If they can get the zone, they're going to be very successful. But if they don't, it's going to be difficult. But that's it. That's about it. A little bit of 10 HP. It's a little bit on that southwest border. But otherwise, I mean, it is not only is it like no compounds, it is a pretty like open area.
Yeah, I don't think there's many trees through there. It's relatively flat.
Maybe a little bit of high ground, but yeah, this is not like a Miramar match where there's like dips and everywhere you can go. It's gonna be difficult. And now these teams got to move now. Now this is where it's coming in. The teams are gonna try to rush in here as fast as they can. This is the 5th zone, going to the 6th zone. You can live a few minutes in this 5th zone, but as soon as it hits the 6th, you're done.
As it turns into a reaction time game here, who sees the other person first?
Exactly, you're exactly right. Look at this. What is this? 187 black. They were able to take out DK, but now 187 Alpha comes in right behind them. Very smart on Outcast Alpha's but can they finish him off? Only Zebra's the only one alive. 2 guys from Outcast.
Oh, Zebra's
Alpha.
Low.
He is so low. I mean, Outcast Alpha would.
They're gonna let him heal.
I don't think they know like how low he was.
I thought he just hit a first aid.
Oh, they're able to go over there and get that final kill on him.
True got it.
Oh, nice little third party. I mean, Outcast Alpha, to their credit, saw the battle going on between Dream Killers and 187 and just kind of rushed it. That was the only place they could go.
Yeah, and they ended up only with 1 kill
they're
though.
Taking rounds. I mean, someone's got some bullet magnets because they're just like shooting that smoke and hit and making multiple shots. Brown is almost dead. And here comes True from behind.
Well, that's what the last player was at Zebra, I think, for 187. Yeah. He just hit a first aid kit. He took 1 step and he was already down to like 5 HP. Because Elia, I think, was tagging him like with the.
And now here comes this True Savage team. All 3 of the members pushing these last 2 gold and brownie. And out goes Outcast Alpha in what, in the 10th place? So,
7th maybe? I don't know.
7th place. Oh, yeah, 7th place. Yeah, 7th place. You're right. 7th place.
Sometimes those numbers drop so quickly, you're not sure.
And look at these guys 18 just driving right through the center. I love it.
They want to be on the short side.
And they just drive right through the center, shoot the gauntlet, and put up 10 HP. S&P Top Strikers, a team that we've been talking to, having a really strong last match, just like what we talked about.
Man, well, driving through the middle was interesting, but it wasn't long lasting. Alright, now here's the high ground you were talking about. True is on top of the hill. They're
And
looking
look at this
down on
guy's-
Spray and Pray.
And Top Striker still in the F-Boy shack, but got themselves at least 4th place finish. So after having 2 really bad matches, kind of clutching it, like you said, I kind of signed them off earlier. You were like, that's so they can still do it, and you were right, sir. Nick, you were right that they're able to stay alive, and like I said, that was at least 4th place, if not better, based on what happens to these other teams out here. Now the 3rd
Well, all
place.
they had to do was make it out of North George and then play smart. You know, I mean, and we knew from talking to them earlier they weren't going to be going around looking for fights like through the mid game. And now they put themselves in a position to get a pile of points here in this last match.
And look, we said 2 circles ago, they kind of sat there. They put their money in this F-Boy shack. This is where they're going. They've got the zone over and over again. They're still in the zone.
Speaking
So
of
they
piles,
lucked out.
have you noticed the kill count from True Savages right now?
20. Wow, True Savages. Just, oh my goodness, a team that's, like I said, in the 8th place. You're definitely going to be moving up in the stats after tonight.
Now they're gonna feed some nades down the hill to Top Strikers. The nades in this game are so interesting. It can land 2 feet away from you, but if there's a twig, it doesn't damage you.
It kills. Look at S&P just trying to live in the blue. So now Top Strikers, now Top Strikers coming out doing some damage at the end.
Oh, Ghost. That's gonna be it. Ghost didn't have any health.
Kudos to Top Strikers for clutching a 2nd place finish in that last match after having a little bit of a disappointing first 2 matches, getting themselves a lot of points. I'm definitely going to move up in the ranks, but this True
23 kills.
Wow. We haven't seen a really dominating performance like that in quite a while. You know, this is like 187 of old. And,
that's like a third of the lobby.
Wow. I mean, just... And it really, except for Freddy was kind of dead weight on that squad with 0. But Cash, Elia, and Twist both all get their like fair share. And Freddy needs to maybe buy these guys like a soda pop or some dinner and thank him for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Freddy may have been taken out early. I don't know. I don't recall. I'm just looking at logically. If he was taken out early, that would kind of explain lower graphic settings. No, bro, I ain't doing it. I have
no,
this,
bro.
I have this account only for Scrim, so I just cranked the graphic settings all the way up so it looks better for stream, and I'm not playing, so if it drops a frame here or there, it ain't that big of a deal. All right, let's check out one more sponsor spot, and then we'll be right back to check in with Top Strikers. All right, and there is the Charge Play base. So if you have wireless charge capable devices, whether it be headphones, a phone, the battery from your Charge Play clutch, a mouse, whatever, you can charge 2 devices at the same time off of that and be good to go. So one team will be walking away with 4 of those. Again, so they have no excuse for dead batteries.
And as we finish up the scrims tonight, we are happy to invite back in for one last time the guys from Top Strikers. Obviously, that last match, a huge difference from the first 2 matches, coming in 2nd place. Congratulations on that last match, guys.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. You call
And
it
I'm gonna-
Pickford.
You know, I'm going to apologize after in the beginning of the match. If you go back and watch the video on demand, I might have wrote you guys off after you're up in Georgia, and Nick corrected me. He goes, no. These guys know what they're doing. They're going to play smart. They got 2 guys left. They can still get themselves a lot of points. So kudos to Nick for calling that out. And then what I thought the best part of that match was at the end of that match, you guys found that little shack, and you kind of said, "This is our spot. We're going to stay here, and hopefully we'll get the zone." And you were lucky enough to get the zone a couple times. That really helped you guys. You guys were able to defend it, and yet utilize the zone to your success. Who made that decision to move into that shack at the end?
I made it. I was driving, so we were driving through a lot of teams, and it wasn't taken. So I said, "Let me stay here." And by the zone lock, we got all the zones until the final one.
Yeah. I mean, that's so there's so much. I guess you gotta have the luck of getting the zone, but then the skills to protect it. I know you guys, a couple teams were driving by, and you guys were kind of getting repel a couple teams driving by from trying to take that shack from you. But it's one of those kind of like faith decisions you got to make. You know, in that 5th zone. Okay, this is where we're gonna be. There's no place we can go to. If we fall out of zone, we're going to be in trouble. But we're going to try our best. And I tell you what, at the very end there, when True Savages were pushing, you guys still went out there and put on a valiant fight. You know, got a couple of hits. Got I think at least 1 knock. But like I said, they were just pushing you so hard. It's very, very difficult to be successful at that last place, that last battle.
We could have won if zone won the 1v1 with the dude with M249. Because I don't have a pill already, but the M249 was OP.
The M249? If you had the M249 at the end, that could have went different. The thing with the Uzi, it's such a good gun up close, but man, if you don't hit your first few shots, now you're reloading, and like, what are you gonna do? You know, that was rough. I couldn't tell the last player who was in the shack. I couldn't tell because I was outside spectating. I couldn't tell if he was knocked or not. But what was low health. Was there no heals left, I guess, or?
Yeah, I was the last one. I was about to heal, but the dude just pushed knocks early, so then he just pushed the shot.
Didn't have time.
Yeah,
understandable. Well, you guys put in a great effort. Yeah, at the beginning when you guys were in that fight in George, and I think you had lost a player, and you know, there was some doubt whether or not you guys were going to pull through and maintain you know, your top 10 standings. And I said, I think these guys, you know, at that point you had 2 kills, you still had 3 people left, and the thing is who was it you were fighting in North George? Was it the Forgotten?
Men of 4,
right. They started leaving. I don't know if you knew that. Like, we could see obviously on the map. They started leaving, and I was like, nah, these guys will be all right for a while. Men of 4 is going to back out because of zone, and these guys will be able to just, you know, rotate around, get to where they need to go, and you know, play it smart. And you did, and you got 2nd place, and congratulations on that.
And pretty much like rescued, like, you know, pretty much went from what would have been a very disappointing scrims to like getting yourself probably a pretty good finish. You know, that 22 points is so big. Now you go in there and you get a bunch of 8th place finishes, getting, you know, what is it, 7 or 8 points per match. Or you can just go in there and get like a 2nd place finish. You get all those points in one match, you know. And so I think that's what you guys did. And I think, you know, 40 minutes ago, I think you guys would have said it was a disappointing scrim. But now I think you guys have done yourselves pretty well, and probably and will maintain your position in the scrims. And because, as I said, there's a lot of movement in there, a lot of teams that we hadn't seen. And that's one thing about this season scrims, that a team that's played every match is getting points, but a team that like Sprain for you comes in, they might get 12 points, but they're starting from 0. So if you're a team that already has, like, you know, Top Strikers already has 27 points. So if you get, even if you do get 2nd place today, it's your first match, you're only going to get 22. You're not going to be able to catch up. We have a lot of teams, like I said, that are showing up for the first time or don't show very often. Mobile Warriors, Blood Trauma, Spray and Pray, Walking Frags, Vixens, teams that did well, but more importantly, a team like Top Strikers comes in every single match and just collects those points. And that's very important. You have to show up for every single match. When did you guys kind of decide that, like, you guys were going to really focus on these scrims and come in and, and try to hit them all and try to see how well you guys can do?
Well, since we started our cast, it was like when I now started playing comp, it was kind of fun and so on. And we always got a spot every scrim, so I was like, alright, we'll dedicate it. I told the guys we'll prioritize Outcast League for this season, and we just played every day.
And yeah, I mean, I think it's whoever comes out of here. I say it's going to be a good judgment of your quality because you're playing FPP, you're playing TPP, and you're playing the mixes on all the maps. So if whoever you place here can really tell you how you are as a team at this level, and if you want to move up or move down or whatever. But again, so I guess as a team, what are you taking from what are you taking from these scrims to build on for Friday and the 4 matches on Friday night? What's the positives and what are some of the lessons you've learned?
Well, Friday is going to be a bit different with the FPP and TPP mode, so we got to like change it up for Friday. But just the second place, I think we got a little bit of luck, so we got to try to do better Friday and try to show a better show for you guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really appreciate you guys, because it's very easy to come in here when you guys get a first, second, or third place finish, and everyone's in a good mood. But to come in here after you get knocked out after the first match, the first team knocked out. I mean, you guys, we've had teams that just have dropped out on us when that's happened. So I just respect you guys for not doing that. You guys came in here and say, you know what, we are what we did. We're going to talk about it and let the viewers know, because the viewers know get knocked out in first place and in last place in. To be able to talk to a team like you guys, a team that's been here for 7 months, that's been successful up to the very top, to see how you guys react to it, I think helps the viewers a lot in knowing when they deal with it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, dude, it's our pleasure. No problem. No problem.
So Nick, anything else before we let these guys go for the night?
I don't believe so. Again, good game, you guys. I'm glad you came back and had a successful match, what I would call a successful match anyway, that third time around. At least it wasn't three rotten eggs, and we'll see you guys back on Friday.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
GG's.
Man, I just can't imagine if you had 3 bad matches, like, there's no motivation, like, to play again. You're like, you just get down in that rut. And so I'm glad they had that third match to prove to themselves that they can play the game.
I mean, Nick, I know you've done a lot of scrims. You've seen where in the third match you go from maybe 24 teams to like 17 or 18 because a lot of teams are just don't want to play the last match if they've had a couple bad matches. That kind of proves Top Strikers comes in there, plays, has 2. I mean, they got knocked out first in the first match, and I think they were 17th or something like that, or 13th in the second. And then they come back in that third match, get the second place, get those points, and more importantly, get those points in the power rankings, which is so important for them to stay in that top 10.
I don't want to spoil it. We do have scores ready.
And
Top Strikers might actually surprise you. I don't know. I mean, you got a good head about it. You probably already have an idea of it, but after the first 2 matches, I think where they end up was surprising. Let's take a look at the scores. If I can find the right button. So it probably isn't going to be a big surprise who is in first place. And of course, my slideshow starts flipped, so we see the second page first. Gotta love it. Building the drama, but True Savages in truly dominating fashion, coming in first place, 40 points ahead of the second place team. 125 points. 187 Black. I mean, we've seen 85 points or so win a 3 scrim set. This was second place by like an entire game. 40 points.
What I've said before is if a team can score 100 points in a 3-match, they've dominated. And if they can score 130 in a 4-match scrim, they've dominated. These guys almost scored domination in a 4-match in 3. This is probably, as far as I know, the highest points I've ever seen scored in a 3-match using the PMCO 2019. And since I've been doing these scrims for Outcast in the past 6-7 months, I've never seen a team score this many points.
By the way, I'm going to have to look. I don't know if that was True Savages, I think that was their A team. We'll have to determine how we score that, but yeah, just to throw that out there, Pickford.
Well,
That
as
was
it
a
does
completely
say,
different roster.
as it should say, unfortunately, this got moved. And I just noticed that. Let me just slide this a little bit to the left. It does say unofficial down here in the corner. I have to get a way to actually fit this. It used to be in the other corner so you could see it, but now it's in the right corner and it was behind my camera. So let me just move it a little bit. These are unofficial scores. As was said earlier, this is unofficial until it's official. You know it's official when it's posted in the public Discord channels. So if you're not in the Discord, exclamation point Discord in the chat, make sure that you join over there. So yeah, there's multiple organizations or whatever, multiple teams that are fielding more than one squad. So there's a little bit of additional auditing that has to go on to make sure that the right number of points are assigned to the correct squads, and all that happens. It can't happen between the matches. There's just too much that has to be cross-checked and all that. So, but with that said, assuming that score does stand, 51 kills over 3 games, 74
the score will
placement
stand.
points.
Whether or not the name of the team will. That's the question.
Oh, the team name might change.
Yeah, that's a completely different roster than was used on Monday. So we'll have to look at it. It probably will stand, but we got to look at it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it is all the players that signed up for today's match.
Yes, correct.
All right. Well, anything new and exciting happening that we need to let the viewers know about?
Just don't look at the bottom of the score sheet. No, 1 and 2 in Pickford's hypothetical power rankings.
The Hacks and 187 and Alpha?
Hacks and Alpha.
Or 187, are you talking about like my
1-8
preseason picks?
No. Your unofficial numbers, including yesterday or Monday.
Oh,
rather.
Hacks and Outcast?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd say it's a marathon, not a sprint. I believe that, and I think part of this, what makes the Scrim season so entertaining, is that a lot of teams are going to get knocked down, but I think you're going to be able to get back up again and continue to battle on. It's you're gonna have, it's not going to be all cherries and cream. You're going to have some bad matches, but those teams that can keep playing, keep showing up, that are going to have the most success over time. Because a lot of these teams that did very well tonight don't really play all the matches, and so we'll have to see if they do have some success, if they decide they're going to start playing more. But it's a lot of these teams are only, I'm including True Savages. I don't think True Savages has played all the matches themselves, so they we'll have to see when they
come in and dominate on the TPP and then don't touch the FPP nights.
Well, because they didn't play at all on Monday. And then the team that came in second place on Monday, ADP SHDD, didn't even show up tonight. So they came in second place on Monday, didn't show up. True Savages didn't play at all on Monday. Did they play? I looked at my and they played on Friday and came in 27th place or 17th place. So it looks like they're only playing on. And they're only playing on Wednesdays and Fridays and not playing on Mondays. So obviously they did well. But at the end of the day, they scored 30 points. Because we're not carrying over on the 140 some odd points. They scored 30 points, but you can be pretty good. But if you're missing a third of all the events, good luck.
Yeah. Well,
right now is the time to correct that.
Yes.
Wait, hold on a second. Why is C-Dub? I can barely hear him. Is that me? Do I have him cranked way down?
He sounds kind of like he's in a tin can.
Just a second.
Sounds better already.
Is this any better?
C-Dub. I don't know. I cranked you up to like 180, 169%.
I'm maxed out. Can you hear me now, bub?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, maxed out on my side. No, but I was saying this is the time to come in. I know when we were making up the graphics for this week's power ranking, there was teams that were in the top 10 that had less than 20 points. So as of this past Monday, a team that came in and win could be well within the top 10. Well within the top 10. So it's not out of anybody's reach at this point. So I encourage anybody who's thinking, oh, it's too late, we didn't get in the first week or maybe in the first 2 weeks. You come in, win two scrims, you're in the money, like literally in the money.
Right, yeah. And there's, over 6 weeks left. So it's never too late. Well, I can't say never. It's not too late right now to get involved and put your stake in for some of these prizes. Stake your claim.
One thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out real quick to Emperor from Rohim Alpha. Obviously, earlier, I found out about the whole issue with Dream Killers earlier today. I got this around 7:30 p.m. That's what I got from Emperor, and Emperor was really obviously down. Like everyone who wasn't an elite was kicked off, like literally kicked out of the Discord. You're literally on the Discord, you're in a team, and you show up, you go to Discord, you're kicked out of it, you're locked out. It's now renamed, and you're done. You don't have a team anymore. And he sent me a DM, and he kind of explained what happened, and that he was really sorry, but they're probably going to have to drop out because the team's done. They're gone. So I sent them a message, and I was like, you know what? It's a shame it's happening to you, but I recommended you guys try to get together, try to get 2 or 3, 4 players together, and show up tonight and play. Get some points. Don't allow these 3 matches to get away without you guys getting points. And I guess Emperor went and talked to the other guys that were all kicked out, because obviously you're not going to feel very good if you just got kicked off your team. Talk to all the players. Pass on what I had said, that you guys should go there, and they all decided to show up. They showed up for all the matches. And they're most likely going to stay in it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those guys at Brohim Alpha. They had a kind of a tough news today. Obviously, no one wants to get kicked off their team, but they still showed up. They still tried their best. They still fragged out and stayed in the competition. So kudos to those guys.
Yeah, definitely. It takes perseverance. Like we were talking about before, like patience during the game, but all that stuff that happens outside of matches. It takes some perseverance and some maturity to work through, and just keep doing what you got to do. And I'm sure that we'll see them back again, Broham Alpha, and we'll look forward to those performances. One other thing I wanted to say, I've been not 100% related to this, but I have been using these HyperX Cloud Alpha S headphones a lot lately. And I've been doing a lot of video editing projects, like all day long, sitting editing video, and I can wear these headphones all day long, and they never, ever have hurt like the top of my head. Sometimes you wear headphones so long, like that band across the top of your head starts getting uncomfortable. These suckers, you never really feel them on the top of your head at all, so they're great. If you are looking for a headset outside of the earbuds, the Cloud Buds, which are amazing. These the HyperX Cloud Alpha S. You can hit the little Amazon icon that you see on stream and at the top right of chat if you're on mobile, or under the stream if you're on a PC. You can scroll through that list. You can find the exact headset that I'm talking about, and you can buy it directly there. And you can enjoy not only great sound quality, but the most comfortable headset that I can ever remember using as well. So thanks a lot to HyperX, again, for providing the gear for the prizes, and just being an awesome company all around.
Hey, you mentioned those earbuds there. I'm using them right now. I've got a pair of them. I've had them for several months, and audio quality is really good. So again, like Nick said, in those different places, if you're on PC or mobile, the Amazon links are there as well for the earbuds, so you can check those out.
Yeah,
Can I ask you a
definitely.
question, Nicky, about the headsets, the Alpha 2s that you have. Do they have the self-adjusting headband, or do they have the clamp down headband?
I don't know. I just put it on my head.
Okay, yeah, no. I mean, the reason I'm saying is I haven't won those particularly. I've been using the revolvers for about the past year, and to agree with what you're saying, they have the self-adjusting headband on them, and for the first, I would say 2 weeks, I was terrified that they were going to fall off because they just don't even feel like they're there. Sometimes my wife will come out after hours of me being out here. The game will be over and whatever else. I'm messing around on my phone or the computer, and she's like, "Why are you still wearing your headphones?" And I just literally they're comfortable enough that I forget they're on sometimes.
Yeah, these you adjust them, I think, with these bands on the side. Yeah, you can adjust it yourself, but the adjustments, the other thing I really like about these is the sides that hold the actual ear cups and the part that adjusts, it's all one solid piece of metal. So, like, you should be able to rage a time or two and throw them, and they're not going to break on you. I don't recommend doing that, but they should be built to stand up. These have, like, it's the foam that they have on the underside of the headband. It's like actually like memory foam. Unlike, a lot of other headsets just might have a thin piece of just, generic open cell foam or whatever that gets squished down over time. This memory foam really does a nice job. The earbuds Brownie was talking about, I was actually doing a little bit of research on some different specs on headsets for a project that I was working on over the past week. And it's amazing to me that the frequency response of those earbuds is on par with some companies' actual, like, over-the-ear headsets. Like, as far as how deep of bass and how, like, clear of treble. Like, the frequency response range is the same as, some other full-size headphones. So the sound quality out of those things has to be amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
where they're great at is the microphone, because Brownie was having issues with another puke brand of headphones that he paid quite a bit of money for, and we were having issues hearing him a while back in scrims, and so he switched to earbuds, and 10 times better. The microphone on his earbuds, his HyperX buds, are better than one of the competitors' brand of boom mics, built on over-the-ear headphone boom mics.
Yeah,
Night and day difference.
These boom mics are, they're not, none of them, I've not heard one that was great, to be honest with you. So it doesn't surprise me that the quality that they can build into, when I say great, I mean like to replace like an actual microphone, they're just limited in like the size that they are. So it's kind of amazing that the microphone in the earbuds is that good. I mean, it is, without a doubt. It's just shocking how much quality that they can build into such a small package.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about them is they don't build everything under the sun like some companies try to do, but the things that they do build are worth paying for, without a doubt.
Definitely.
I've been happy for years with all the products that I've had from them. Zero complaints. I messed a pair up one time, and quickly they had another pair sent out to me.
Not to pile on the accolades here, but I have a son who had been through 4 pairs of headphones because my wife kept buying like $20 ones off Amazon, and they would last, anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. And sometimes, if you thought about it, you could just get a replacement one from Amazon if the seller even still existed or whatever. Eventually, I just broke down and I bought him a HyperX set that he's now had for 10 months, and it's still going strong. And now he uses it every day for his online school. So now he gets to sit with his HyperX headset to do school. So now he's using them, like 5-6 hours a day just for that. But just the fact that he was not abusing, cheaper pairs, they would just quit working. So you get, a halfway decent pair. What do you know? They last a long time.
You mentioned the online school. Everybody's doing that now.
Yep.
Like everybody needs headphones. Everybody needs, stuff for your computer, mouse, keyboard. HyperX has got it all.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so Friday 10 p.m. ish, 10:05. What's the official start time?
So official start time is 10:05, but Random
10:05.
usually comes in a little bit early and
Right.
chats
Kickoff.
with the guys for a bit. Yep.
Kickoff is 10:05, so be here before then. Make sure you're following with notifications on. You will get an alert when the stream goes live. You know, you can catch 4 games of action on Friday. With that, I think we're just about wrapped up. I'm going to put it to a BRB screen unless somebody has anything else to add real quick.
No, sir. We're good.
All right,
That's
we're
it for
going
me.
to hit up a raid. So I'm going to just wait for the stream delay to catch up, and then I'll send you guys on your way. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys all next time.
and set for the